Welcome back to the channel once again. Today is transfer deadline day, and I've got 5 very special guests to talk about Tottenham's activity in the transfer window. And hopefully, during this 2-hour session, we will grab yet another signing. A Rafa van der Vaart signing would be fantastic, wouldn't it, in these last 2 hours? Let's introduce my special guest this evening. We've got Leo the Lion, former singer with the Streets. Leo, how are you?
I'm good. I've not done one of these, what do you call it? Transfer deadline things. I feel like I'm on Sky Sports. I feel like I'm ready to do like breaking news business. So
well, hopefully we get some breaking news. We've also got Richard Whitehead, MBE, Paralympic double medalist, double 200-meter medalist. Richard, how are you? Currently on the hunted as well.
Yeah, currently doing that thing. I'm not actually being hunted at the moment. It's all finished, thank goodness. Okay. But yeah, it's actually on the TV at the moment on Channel 4 for the next 6 weeks. But yeah, mate, I'm buzzing about tonight, but I'm a little bit like demotivated by it all. Like obviously we talked about what we needed in the team, and they've just kind of gone, actually, whatever players available, we just get those younger players that kind of we can make a bit of money off in a couple of years' time. Look, what we need Kane needs a backup. We need a right wing back. Go and get him. You got less than 2 hours. Please.
We'll get into all of it, Rich. Don't worry. We've also got actor Ricky Norwood. Ricky, how are you? Is the champagne flowing tonight?
I think what he's doing.
He's off. That's it.
We've got Darren Altman. Jim White. Jim, how are you this evening?
Well, talking of the hunted, Chris, breaking news, Tottenham are on the hunt for a number 10, a right wing back and a striker. We're in Sky Sports News headquarters. We've got phones, we've got laptops. I'm here coming to you live, Chris.
Well, hopefully you'll bring us some breaking news this evening, Jim. We've also got actor Darren Hart. Darren, how are you?
I'm good, gentlemen. I am very, very good. I'm excited about tonight. And also, I'm happy with what we've done so far. So I'll be bringing my spin.
Oh, Ricky's gone again.
He don't know if he's coming or going, that one. He did a
He comes in now more than we've got signings. Ricky, how are you?
Everything's slow motion. I'm gonna leave and come back. Everything's slow motion. I'm hearing.
Is he in the toilet? You in the toilet, mate?
Yeah, I think he is.
He did say he was going to the bathroom, didn't he? Is he having a toilet break?
Yeah, that left.
Right, let's get down to business. We've got 2 players coming in: Dejan Kulusevski, Rodrigo Bentancur. 6 players confirmed have left Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, either on permanent basis or a loan.
Wow.
7, including Dele Alli, when it does get announced. Leo, let's come to you first. Your thoughts on the window so far?
Well, last time we spoke, you asked me how many players do you think Spurs would get. I said 2. Obviously, we thought that it was going to be Traore. There was talks of Ambarat or whatever his name is. And that just literally, all these players just literally fell apart. It was like 1 minute, it's like, it's guaranteed, it's happening. Next minute, from having signing players to literally no one, right? And to be honest, I was happy that we didn't sign Adama Traore, because I wasn't really a fan, to be honest. And I said that from the beginning. Like, I felt like he was the sort of player that did all the great work, but final end didn't come through, didn't provide the goods. So when it fell through, I was kind of like, yeah, well, I didn't want him anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's fine. But then the fact that we didn't have literally no one, then that was a problem. Then we got to Luis Diaz, and then it was like, oh, we're getting this guy, Then all of a sudden, Liverpool comes in, we don't have anyone anymore. And so I'm thinking to myself, literally, this is Spurs. We're going to be getting the dregs of the dregs, like the bottom of the barrel players. And to be honest, I've never heard of these Bentancur guy or this Kulusevski, whatever his name is. I've never heard of these guys. So I'm literally giving them five games to prove themselves. And that's it. But again, if Conte wants them, who am I to argue? But again, I'm giving them 5 games because, it's like we needed to be honest, a big signing of at least a player that we knew that we can be proud of and say, hey, you know, these people are coming, we're gonna do big things. But we kind of ended up, we kind of got like those type of players, which is like, did we have a good window? That's my answer to your question. So
Primark FC, you know them way there, fam.
So I don't know. All the so-called good players that we wanted to sign. I mean, where's Usman Dembele? We got touted him. Vlahovic. All these players that we thought we were gonna get at the beginning, mate. They might as well sign my mum. And I'll be like, same thing. My mum's a great right back.
Well, we know, Ricky, don't we, that Leo's mum features quite often on this show.
She does, mate. She does.
Rich, let's come to you. What are your thoughts so far on the window? 2 players in, 6 out, 7 if Dele Alli goes. What are your thoughts so far?
Yeah, I think obviously when they looked at the January transfer window and looked at the players that are available, obviously Conte's been to the board with his targets. Maybe they weren't available in the January market. So the 2 players that obviously have come in, Conte knows. Obviously, he's seen them play in Italy. He knows their roles. All Tottenham fans have been on YouTube today, I'm sure, like putting their names in, seeing what their show reels are. The good thing is they're very passionate players. Obviously, the kind of hearts on the sleeve, ball winning, stroke, kind of forward thinking players, which is good. My real concern is obviously they're not proven in the Premier League, so it's a little bit of a heads or tails kind of if they're going to actually be successful. And that's a massive concern. I'm surprised that we didn't go for Premiership proven players. And then also, we'd always do this. I'm like, for fuck's sake, look, we identified where we needed players, and we don't get them. We don't. Kane needs backup. We don't get it. Right wing back. We don't get one. That's what we need. Go and get them. Right wing back player that comes in for Kane. Nobody else. Don't go for these other players just in case we're going to make a couple of quid off them. No. I think when we talk about how good this transfer window has been, I'm just not sure. I think the best thing is that we've got rid of some of the players that aren't pulling their weight, and we've got rid of a lot of wages off our wage bill. And maybe that's going to be benefit us in the summer when some of these players can actually either ship in or ship out when they come back from those loan deals.
Ricky, let's come to you. What are your thoughts on the window so far? Are you pleased?
Well, I mean, right now I'm pleased. And I'll tell you why. And with every single Tottenham fan, I'm with you because I was emotionally drained after the Luis Diaz transfer saga myself. All right. But all right, let's look at Adama. Now, Adama, really and truly, if we wanted him, we should have wrapped it up on January 1st. There was no need to be waiting until the final moments for this one. The price was there. You know, if we wanted him, the agreement was there. He knew. All this talk about he didn't want to come in and play right wing back, I think that's a bit of an excuse. Reason being is that we was linked with him for so long, and we've put in that particular role for him to play. Now, I started to get used to the idea because obviously we know about his end product, we know about the negativity side of things, but the last time I was on and we was talking about it, you know, let's look at what he does bring. Pace, chaos, dribbling ability, able to progress the ball forward and beat a man, which we've all wanted our right backs or right wing backs to do, is to beat a man. So he would have brought all that in and brought some chaos with him and open up spaces for the rest of our attackers. It didn't happen. All right, upset about that. Really and truly, not so much for me, but for Conte. Because if Conte wanted him and Conte believed that he was the number one right back that he could convert, winger that could convert into a right wing back, then I'm upset for him. So then the Luis Diaz deal came. And now when that flopped, I was just like, here we go. Now, when we was linked to him, I did not think that we was going to sign him, honestly. I just didn't think it was going to happen. At that moment, I felt it was a bit of a smokescreen. We've gone out for a big player, a big name to say that we're doing something in the market. And then when it didn't happen, I thought it's just going to flop again. It's going to be like, we tried, which we're used to. We're used to this. We're used to hearing it. And we're over it. We're frustrated with those type of maneuvers. But when I look back at the Luis Diaz deal, I kind of think it was a smart opportunity that they tried to get over the line. Reason I'm saying this is because Liverpool were after him from last summer. They were looking at him. It got to the winter where Liverpool wasn't going to do any business whatsoever. So we've left it to the last minute to try and get in it, to try and sneak, like a sneak attack, to try and jack Luis Diaz from under the noses of Liverpool, where they're not, they're not going to be in the market this winter. And we're going to be all right and cool. Here's a bid. You got 48 hours. Let's try and make it happen. But what that ended up doing was making Liverpool spring into action and, paid what we was going to pay plus a bit more. And it's Liverpool. So, of course, the player is like Liverpool. Cool. Understand. So that's two opportunities we've missed out on. The two opportunities that we've brought in, I think for all of the good that is being said and all of the bad that is being said, what hasn't been said is that both of these players have elite mentality. They're both winners. They're both experienced. They both know Conte. They both know what, and Paratici. They both know what is going to be needed in a Conte team. And these players, especially Bentancur, intelligent. Not only can he tackle, but he can pass the ball forward. Do you know what I mean? From the little clips and from what we've seen, we can see that he can do that. But what is the biggest thing for me is that he's got that elite mentality that we've been missing in the side, throughout the side. And the same goes for Kulusevski, or Kulu, as the nickname, the shorter nickname that everyone will start calling him, I assume. But it's the same thing with him. Now, with Kulusevski, he's both-footed, he's strong, he's tall, he's big, he's quick. He's got a turner skill. He can score with both feet. He can play left, right, and centre. Do you know what I mean? As well as midfield if we need him to. Again, another player who's got an elite mentality. The one quote that I saw is that when they was asking him about, the game or something, he basically said, the game is about winning. And that's all I'm into. I'm into winning. Now, that's what we've needed. Now, it might seem like we're a bit short, because on paper, we have got rid of Dele, Celso, and Ndombele, right? So we've got rid of these three who are creators, but they're only names on paper. They wasn't giving us, unfortunately, and I know we'll break it down, but they wasn't giving us anything on the pitch. So they couldn't be a certified option for Conte to bring on because they wasn't getting it from them. We know as Tottenham fans that for all of the flashes of brilliance that Ndombele brings, the majority of the time, he's jogging around or standing around and he's not there to put in a foot or to give his all for 90 minutes. So that's like a wasted player. Dele, unfortunately, with every new manager that's come in that's asked him to play a new role or a different role, he just hasn't been able to find his feet back at Tottenham to find his form. So again, another player that we can't use that we've got out of the club. Lo Celso, everybody knows already with me and Lo Celso, because I don't know where he played or what he offered us. However bad people want to say Ndombele is, Lo Celso is 10 times worse for me because
you've got to think for Lo Celso.
It's because this is what gets me with Lo Celso is that we could have got Bruno Fernandes, all right? Yeah. But we ended up getting Lo Celso, all right? But that's the past. But while Lo Celso has been there, he has not offered anything in any role that he has been put in to the side. I have not seen a will. I have not seen a want. I've seen a bit of effort, like professional effort, but I haven't seen really much more. So when we look at it, we've got rid of 3 players that are only players on paper right now, and we've brought in 2 that actually have elite mentality, have ability, have experience, and all want to fight for Conte. So that, for me, and as well, these 2 players are for the first team. Do you know what I mean? This was my criticism in the summer, is that we only brought in 2 players out of the 5 that we recruited for the first team, Emerson and Romero. So right now we've got another 2 players that can affect that first team. And I'm really expecting, I don't want to get too overhyped because I got overhyped and I got over happy with Ndombele. But right now, I just want to see them in a Spurs shirt wanting to fight, wanting to run into the ground for Conte, and wanting to do well for this club. And I think he's put us in a stronger position, even though on paper we're weaker and the numbers are not there and the names are not there. But I think we're stronger because now we have players that we can actually call on to affect the game and push us towards that top 4.
You've been wanting to say that. I feel you've been wanting to say all of that since 12 hours ago.
You've got it written down.
I've been holding it in. I've rehearsed my lines, boys. I've rehearsed.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I can tell you're an actor. It was like you practice that.
Yeah.
Bro,
you've got the gig. You're hired.
It was in me, bruv. It was in me, and I had to lay it out, and I had to hold it. Normally, me and Darren Hartman, we normally go through on deadline day, and this is what we normally do. We normally go back and forth on a voice note. So I've held it off. I haven't sent him a voice note this transfer window. I've held it off until we got to this show so I could let it all out for the fans, man. Come on.
Well,
come on.
It sounds like Darren wouldn't get a word in. Darren, let's come to you.
Thank you. Good night. I've got mixed feelings about this window. I mean, as Richard alluded to, there were specific positions that we haven't fulfilled. Right wing back, a replacement for God forbid he gets injured. Then what do we do? That number 10, an attacking midfielder. Now, listen, I don't know. I mean, I've done the YouTube thing and I've looked and had to check them out. I mean, I'm not an aficionado of Italian football, but this Kulusevski, as you mentioned when we were chatting earlier, Chris, seems to fulfill a number of roles. Would he fit in that number 10 role? I don't know. Has Conte got plans for him in that role? I don't know. So, I mean, the glass. Let's go with Ricky's optimism and say the glass is half full. We've got rid of a load of dead wood. We've got rid of hundreds of thousands of pounds off the wage bill every week. We've got 2 players that will absolutely give their all and no Paratici and no Conte and fight for the shirt. So, I mean, they're positives. I just, if that right wing back, position still worries me. We've still got Doherty. No one's mentioned him yet, the D word. What happens if Harry Kane's injured? And we haven't got that. And as we've said on this show before, he comes so deep now. That he's to my eye, he's lost that, that poacher, that goal scoring instinct. Well, not instinct, but we don't have that out and out striker because he comes looking for the ball. I mean, the other thing that I'd be very, very interested to know and to get your opinion, guys, is I wonder what went on behind closed doors. Do you reckon Conte's happy? Do you reckon he's happy with these signings? Do you reckon he goes, yep, for a January that's fine, or do you reckon he's thinks that we haven't fulfilled our criteria? I'd be very interesting to know what the dynamic is after this window.
Yeah, we'll answer that question shortly, Darren. Darren Hart, let's come to you. Your initial thoughts on the window so far?
For me, I put out a tweet in the week saying I needed to see intention from the board. I needed them to show their intentions on how we're going to be working, how we're going to perform on the pitch. And what I've seen has given me enough to go, Conte knew the deadwood he wanted out. He knew the people he wanted away from the side. We spoke about how difficult January is to do the deals. And if you look at the amount of players we've got away from our club, let's start there. Before we do in, let's look at the outs. Those outs sometimes are better than getting a player in. If you're in training and you've got a Ndombele there who he doesn't want to be there. His energy's off. You've got a Dele Alli whose energy's off. And a Celso whose energy's off. It has a massive effect on everyone else. Suddenly you go to training and everyone is giving the same percent that you are. Everyone pushes on. So I think the whole training ground, the whole environment has been dramatically improved purely by getting players out. You look at the financial repercussions of those transfers out. We're going to have a lot more money in the kitty. And I think we all know January is hard to do the magic business. We've had the Van der Vaart, but you don't get those all the time. In January, it's more pragmatic. Yes, we know we needed a right-sided defender. Yes, we know we looked at a centre-half. We centre midfield, sorry, and we looked at a striker. That's us as fans projecting what we think we need. It doesn't change. We know that we need that. The board knows that. Conte does. But can you get that in January? I think what they've done right now has gone, let's make our squad a more cohesive squad. We have that now. Let's get the deadwood out. Let's build for our summer transfer window where the money now is already there. We don't have to do we have to get out before we get in. They're gone. Now the money is there. Now the deals can be worked early. Now Paratici has gone. Now I've got the money to play with. He'll know his kitty right from the get-go. Let's do business early. Let's see how we can play this game differently. And I think the optimism for me is that the squad we have now, for me, is a more unified team, and it's a Conte team that he is happier with the players he has because of the players he got rid of. And I think that's where my head's going to be with it. And Darren, I know you alluded to, is he happy? I think as a winner that he is, he's always going to want more and he's not going to be happy. And I don't want him to be happy with this window because as fans, we're not completely happy. Like you said, the D word is still there and certain players haven't been brought in that we wanted. But he's seen intention. He said, I don't like A, B, C, and D, and they've been told to leave. And normally we don't back that. We don't fulfill that. But this time we have. So I'm in a good place right now. I'm in a very good place.
Ricky, Miles writes here, Ricky should be a pundit.
When I get the invite, man. When I get the invite. But who needs to be a pundit when you're on the Chris Cowlin channel, man? You don't need that else. That's all you need. You just need to be on the Chris Cowlin channel and everything else is good.
Well, I love tonight, Ricky. You've done research, so you've taken tonight very seriously.
I have, mate. I have. I am in. Listen,
well, speaking about channels, hold on. I just want to say something. Speaking about channels, I see we've got 766 people like watching the stream now. So,
come on, Leo.
And how many likes have we got here, man? What's going on? Only 83 likes. Come on, this is not good enough, guys. Come on. This is the deadline. What's it? Deadline. You know,
deadline day.
Countdown. We've only got 86 likes. So we have to do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We need to make sure we give Chris the finger, right? So
easy,
the fingers up. We need to give Chris the finger right now.
Easy.
And with 770 people watching, come on, we need to get the likes up. 5,
come on.
4, 3, 2, 1. Let me see those likes, people. Come on now. That's
I
knew you had great fans, Chris. Look at the lights going up. 200. Let's get some more. Look at that. 260. Yeah. That's what we're talking about. Come on, let's get up a bit more. That's it.
Well,
wicked.
Leo.
Yeah, go on.
Leo, let's stay with you. Let's talk about our first new signing under Antonio Conte. DJ Kulusevski, 21, Sweden international, played for Atalanta, Parma and Juventus in Serie A. He was voted the best young player in Serie A during the 1920 season. 94 appearances in Serie A in total, 15 goals. This season, 20 appearances, 1 goal. Physically strong, versatile, capable of playing in several midfield attacking roles, box-to-box, winger or offensive midfielder. Main position is attacking just behind the striker. His qualities are speed, stamina, ability to switch play. The deal details, 10 million euros loan fee for 1.5 years, obligation to buy it, 35 million euros, certain conditions, whether we get into the Champions League or not, and appearances. Buy option clause available for 35 million euros. Potential 35 million euro clause would be paid in 5 installments. And a former manager of his described him as a player who covers the most distance and has the right mentality. Leo, does this player excite you?
Does it what, sorry?
Does he excite you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for real. I mean, the thing is Conte. Conte is a Conte player. You know, there's one attribute that you said there that I felt, okay, this is if Conte was going to have players, this is one of the main attributes that we'd have, which is stamina. Because you know how Conte likes, he likes his players to work hard. He likes players that are hungry, players that are going to play to the 95th, 96th minute. You know, players that want to play and want to win. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, he's got all the attributes. He's physically big. He's got pace. He's got agile. He's ambidextrous, as you said. So I mean, and he's young, you know. So which means that he can improve. And we all know that Conte is a guy that likes to improve players. And I think with a player like that, it kind of makes sense on the business side of things as well, because obviously with the Daniel Levy situation, that's a 21-year-old player who is been taught up for 35 million. With a Conte coaching, you know, he could double that, it could triple that, you know. because he's so young. So I think it's a good piece of business. I do think plus as well, because it is a Conte that has signed him. Conte knows what he's going to do with him. Conte knows that he's a type of player that is, like you said, is versatile. So he's kind of like a utility player that can play with different positions, provide different options for Conte, especially now during this window where, you know, as everyone knows, it's very difficult for us to sign players. So if you can have a player like that is versatile, that can be playing in multiple positions, it's only going to strengthen the squad, you know, because our strength in depth is not that big. So if we have a player like that, who, like Ricky said, has got the experience, has got the winning experience by coming from Juventus, has worked under Conte before, he knows what Conte wants out of the players, he's used to it, he knows that, you know, he's there to please Conte, and he wouldn't have come if he didn't feel that Conte was going to help them achieve what they were going to do here. So I'm excited about it. Like I've said from before, whatever Conte wants, who am I to tell him no? You know, he is a serial winner. So he knows what to do, and we just have to trust in him. So as far as that player is concerned, yeah, I am happy.
Rich, let's come to you. Now, Kulusevski has just done his first interview with Spurs TV. He said, "I'm very happy to be here. A dream coming true to come to Tottenham." And he said about Antonio Conte, "I know him from Inter Milan. His teams work really hard. This is the best league in the world." What do you make of this signing? Did you know anything about Kulusevski before he signed for Spurs?
Obviously, from some of his showreel at Juventus, I've seen him play before. I know, obviously, he's a hard worker. I know he's, like Ricky was saying, a player that can use both feet, which is great because we've got some players that play in our first team that can't do that. I think it's really important that Conte comes out and says these are players that he wants us to sign. That's really important for the fans to kind of feel that confidence, excited. I think they're going to go straight into the first team because of how poor our first team is. To be honest, January is such a hard window to get those players in, and the players that we got out, I think that was key. Like was said, obviously before by Darren. I'm just not sure. If it's going to actually improve the first 11. I hope it is. I hope we see the benefits of that. Both the signings have got obviously passion, have got ability, have shown in Serie A that they are able to perform at the highest level. But as we've known with obviously some of the other players we had in last year, the transition into the Premier League has been tough. So let's hope that both players settle in really quickly. We've got some real key fixtures coming up, and they need to hit the ground running, and hopefully they get the support that they deserve.
Ricky, let's come to you. Where do you think that Kulusevski will fit in? Because interestingly, I thought that he would probably play on the right, you know, an attacking player, probably take Lucas Moura's place. But I spoke to a journalist, Jerry Cox from Haters TV earlier, and he believes that Antonio Conte may even play him as a right wing back. Where do you see him fitting in?
The boy is he's very versatile. So he's played in midfield as well. So he's played as an advanced midfielder as well as a number 10. Like I said, he plays on both sides, the left and the right, behind the striker. So I thought he would have been one of the two behind or alongside Harry Kane. That's where I would have put him. Like you said, either for Lucas or for Sonny or Bergwijn or whoever's on the left. So I would have assumed that that's where they're playing him, especially when we play when we've got the two behind Harry Kane. I can't remember what formation that is right now. Was it 3-5-2-1? I can't remember. That might be too many players, but I don't know. But
it's too many players, Rick.
I knew it. 3-4-2-1. 3-4-2-1. 3-4-2-1. Anyway, so when we play that formation, I felt that he would have been behind there because he can do all of those things. Now, if he does play at right wing back, I don't assume that it's going to be from the start of a game. I assume that it's going to be a bit like Traore, which, you know, come 60 minutes, if Emerson, you know, is playing too defensive, or if we need a goal, or if we need another attacking threat, that he can put him on that right wing back role and just basically tell him to run the wing, and we'll have our right centre back, whether that be Romero or Sanchez, covering, as well as maybe Højbjerg or Skippy covering from midfield as well. So it will be an attacking option. I don't see him starting a right wing back. I see him more in an attacking role. But yeah, we will have to see, mate. We will have to see. Who knows until he gets on the field.
Darren Allman, let's come to you. Where do you see Kulusevski fit into this team? And, you know, most importantly for me, in this January transfer window, and I've said this for the whole of the 31 days of the window, we don't need players to be sitting on the bench. We don't need players for the future in this window. We need players to be walking straight into this first 11. Are these two players going to do that? Let's talk about Kulusevski first. We'll come on to Bentancur afterwards.
Before I start, Fabrizio Romano's just tweeted that Dele's just signed his contract with Everton. So,
okay.
Well, is that permanent deal or loan?
It's permanent, isn't it?
Permanent deal.
Yeah, good luck, Del. It's a shame, man. It's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame. Definitely a shame.
Yeah.
What we'll do is we'll talk about Kulusevski with the two Darrens first. We'll then get on to Bentancur, and then we'll come on to Dele Alli straight after. Darren, give us your thoughts on Kulusevski.
I mean, he looks great. Like I say, he's two-footed. He's a great passer of the ball. I mean, but we lack creativity in the midfield. So, I mean, I don't want to second guess what Conte wants to do with him. I really don't know. I mean, does Lucas Moura and Bergwijn need, you know, competition for positions? I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough about him, to be honest, to say where he'll slot in. But I do agree with you that that we can't have these players sitting on the bench. I was upset about Hill going, to be honest. I know that's
he's not gone though.
Well, on loan.
Yeah.
In answer to your question,
we'll talk about him shortly.
Yeah, in answer to your question, I don't know where he's going to fit in. I don't know where he's going to slot in. But I'm a glass half full man. I hope that he gets games, and you know, I don't know. I'd like to see him in a more central role, to be honest. I don't know whether that's where he plays, but I just think that creativity in the midfield, certainly for me, has always been a worry. You know, as much as Skip and Winks are getting more forward thinking now in the past few games, certainly that's what we're lacking for me.
You don't think that he might swap him though? Swap one at Winks or Højbjerg for him?
Well, if that's where he wants to play him, then great. Yeah, I mean, certainly. I don't know enough about him. Yes, go on.
So, Darren Hart, let's come to you. Kulusevski, do you watch much Serie A football? Do you know much about him?
You know what I do, you know? I do dabble in the old Serie A. So for me, what I've noticed about him is he plays on the right. He's very happy playing on the right side. He cuts in on his left. He loves to curl one to the top corner. He's very capable of doing that. And he is someone who has the legs to go up and down. And I think what he gives Conte is what we're debating now. He gives him options. He definitely could play him as a right wing back. That definitely is a role he could fulfill because he's got the engine. He's also got the work rate. But what he would do, the same thing that Traore will do. He will make the left back worry about him attacking rather than worrying about defending. So he's pushing their players back. He's keeping numbers in their half, then in our half. And that's the balance he will give us. However, we spoke about not having a number 10, not having the number 1 to support Kane. What he does do, this individual, is he gives us the option to mix around our front three. Because suddenly you could play him where Son plays, put Son in the middle if Kane's not there, and we don't lose the attacking front. We always lose out when Kane's out and Son goes in. We suddenly we're not balanced right anymore. But he gives us a balance suddenly. So a player like that with versatility gives Conte options. If he starts him, he can start him anywhere. But what we've lacked so much this season is our bench. Even if he was on the bench for the first 5 games, you look at the options he can come on the pitch for. As he steps on, he's an improvement. Chelsea, if we just look at our bench, was an embarrassment. We had nobody. Suddenly, we've got a bench that you look at and go, these individuals give us options. These are game changers. These are people that can implement in game, change a game. if Skip's on the bench, you go, Skip can come in and he's going to do a job. So what this individual does for me is options. When I watched him in Serie A, he's lively. He's not the fastest in the world. Don't get me twisted. He's not the fastest, but his footballing brain is very good. He's got good feet. He sees a pass, right or left foot. He'll play early. And that's also what we don't have, playing the pass early. Kane is dropping too deep. He may encourage Kane now. Play up there. I will find you. If you're on the move, I will be looking for that pass. Son, I'm looking for the pass. We don't have a midfield that looks like that. And he's a player who definitely looks like that. And he can do it. So for me, I would play him on the right. Or if we're losing Kane, or if we want to rest Kane, we can do a mix around of our front three. More a Son, him. It can all shift. That's my thinking.
Right.
So sorry, Chris. Before we move on, I don't know. Is somebody's TV on?
Someone's TV is on.
Because it's hitting me, and so it's like, can we turn it down a little bit? I know we're watching Sky Sports News and we're waiting for breaking news, but I was just in my earphones.
I think it's Richard. I think he's trying to see you guys.
Yeah, it was Rich.
Blaming Richard, you know.
as Leo just turns his one off under the table.
In it.
Leo, let's come to you. Let's talk about Tottenham's second signing of this January transfer window, Rodrigo Bentancur. He has just signed for us a contract until 2026. He joined Juventus in 2017 from Boca Juniors. He has won 3 Serie A titles. He's only 24 years old, 46 caps for Uruguay already. He has been described as dynamic, hard-working, skillful, elegant, and tactically versatile midfielder, comfortable on either foot. The deal, 19 million euros plus 6 million euros add-ons. Boca Juniors will receive 30% from the deal. He played for Boca Juniors between 2015 and 2017, 51 appearances, 1 goal. Played for Juve between 2017 and 2022, 133 appearances, 2 goals. What do you make of this signing?
I mean, I like what I've seen. You know, he's a big guy, he's a tall guy. I saw some of his his highlight show reels, and he looks comfortable. I like it how he receives the ball confidently. He receives it and spins. He plays quick balls. He looks strong and comfortable on the ball. He looks like a proper player. He looks like a good player. You know, from what I've seen. Obviously, like, everyone looks great on show reels, you know, even Doherty, I was impressed. But from what I've seen, you know, he looks like an addition to an improvement to what we have, you know, plus the fact that he's won things. And to bring players into a team that have won things, all it can do is improve just the whole aspects of the changing room. You know, the fact that you've brought in 2 players that not only have won things, but won things with Conte, know how Conte works, know that Conte's, you know, they're kind of like the the proof in the pudding that this thing's work. They've got the medals to show for it. So he's a good player. He's strong. He's tall, and I think he's got the attributes for Premiership player. I think the players, like, you know, the ones that we've, like Hill and all those, you know, like Mora, you know, who are, you know, quite nippy players. You know, the fact that we're bringing in more physical players. He's a Conte player, and I feel like he's definitely going to add something to the Spurs squad. I always like having big physical players in the team. And I think that's what you need when you're going up against players, teams like Man City, teams like Chelsea, you know, where they're physical teams, you know. So I think what Conte likes as well, what we're kind of seeing him bringing is players that are dynamic, players that are big, players that can play with their feet, players that have got stamina, players that are willing to play to the 97th minute. You know, and I think that he's definitely an addition and a player that would elevate Spurs much more than what we are, especially with the players that have gone away.
Rich, let's come to you. What are your thoughts on this deal? Because this deal seems to be a pretty cheap one, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like him a lot, actually. Great on the ball. Ball retention is good. Again, both left and right foot. I think he's going to be a real crowd pleaser. He chases the ball down, like we all have. You look on YouTube and you kind of see his best bits, and most of them are sliding tackles to win the ball back, and he's very dynamic on his positioning as well. So it's not all one way. It's left and right. He's looking to kind of win the ball back and then move that ball forwards. I think out of the two signings, like you said, Chris, he's the cheaper one out of the two, but also maybe the more exciting one. I think he's going to be the one that maybe adds that steel in that midfield that we've lacked since the real Ndombele has obviously left us and gone to China. I think he's like a Ndombele as well. You look at him, strong, athletic, big shoulders on him. I think he's got big boots to fill if that's where we're going to put him into that kind of category. But that's what we've needed. We were stupid getting rid of, obviously, Musa at the time we did. I think it had a massive effect on the end of that season. And for me, yeah, this guy is an exciting young man that can come in the team and really add some I think Højbjerg, Winks, Skippy, good players. But we need, like I've always said, upskilling the players we've got. And this is definitely what we've done. I'm still, like I say, still just really disappointed that we've not looked at getting that right wing back in, because for me, we're terrible in that position. Like I say, right wing backs can't cross, just get tackled all the time, just useless. Like, I know Emerson, we want Emerson to do well and we want him to be a good player, but I'm not convinced at the moment. I think Conte needs to have about 10 years with him to work on that techers, because at the moment it's
Aurier, don't you think? Aurier would have done great.
It would have been better, but
look at with his eyes. No, I'm serious. I think
Aurier, though, the only thing about it, keep him out the box. You keep him out the box, and that's it. He's always like
but he had good assists.
Yeah,
you know, he scored goals.
Better at cost.
I get your point, Leo. I think in Conte's system, I think Aurier would have been a very good player in this system. Ricky, let's come to you. What research have you done on Bentancur?
Well, on Bentancur, bro, what I really like about him is that, as Richie was talking about the kind of tackling element of his game, what I really like about his tackling is that he will tackle when the opposition don't believe that they can be tackled. So it's within the bounce of the ball, or it's within like the opposition's about to turn and pass it on, and they've turned and suddenly he's there and he's nicked the ball off of them and he's passing it forward. So I really like that. I really like the fact that he can play within tight spaces. He don't mind if there's two men on him or like he's trying to get hounded out. He can use his feet and his technical ability to get out of trouble when he's crowded and still find the player. He's happy to switch the ball. He's a pace dictator. You know, he will dictate the pace for us. And I am excited about him. But again, it's like the reason I'm not going crazy is because I went crazy for Ndombele, and I thought that he was going to be a world beater. So we just don't know until they're in the shirt. We just don't know until they're in the shirt. My thing is that Bentancur has come over here because he knows that Conte can improve his game and improve him as a player. The will and the want to win is, like I said, the biggest thing. The mentality of these two players is, I think, is their strongest aspect. I watched your video, Chris, with the Italian journalist and the Uruguayan fan, which, you know, they wasn't as excited or they wasn't as kind of enthusiastic as we're being right now. But what I took from that whole thing is that they were very enthusiastic about Højbjerg. Now, we know what Højbjerg done for our midfield when he turned up. But recently, there's been a lot of not so much from myself, but there has been a lot of criticism that he's not getting forward enough, or he's dropping off, or he's knackered. What this player does is he lifts the level of our midfield straight away. So all of those players that might have been flagging, he comes in and they're going to look at this player running his socks off, and they're going to be like, well, I better up my game. You know, we've often said competition for places is such a strength within a side, because it just pushes everybody. It just pushes everybody to kind of go, all right, cool. Well, my place is not guaranteed. You know, Skippy's place is not guaranteed. Højbjerg's place is not guaranteed. Winks' place it's not guaranteed. Do you know what I mean? Because this player has now come in and he's going to shake it all up. But I love the fact that he is a bit of a quarterback as well. But, you know, he's a tackler and a passer. And he's got a tactical brain, and that's what I took out from the interview that you done, Chris, with those two fans, the journalist and the fan, was that he's a tactical, acute guy. So if we need to shut up shop, this guy's going to shut up shop. If we need to get a goal to win the game, this guy's going to go all out to push the ball forward, stop the others playing, and push the ball forward to try and get us a goal. He's going to try and find an intelligent pass. There's been so many times that we've made an obvious pass. We can all see it, and the opposition will nick in, take that obvious pass, offer the person that's supposed to receive it, and counter-attack us. Well, that ain't going to happen with him, I don't think. Do you know what I mean? That ain't going to happen. Yes, I do remember within the video that you done, Chris, that they was talking about a couple of mistakes that he's had when it's been close to goal. I hope that's eradicated from his game. But again, it comes down to Conte. If Conte can improve Winksy, Davies, Dyer, even Doherty, if he can improve these players, which were all on our to-go list, do you know what I mean? Not so long ago, then what's he going to do with this player? What is he going to do with this player? Once he drills him, once he gets everything that he wants, do you know what I mean? The message across to him in Italian, because I'm sure, you know what I mean? Bentancur speaks Italian, to get the proper serial winner mentality in his legs. Do you know what I mean? I'm excited for that, man. I am excited to see that. And like I said, with the both players, they're both got that winning mentality, got a will to win, got a steal about them. And they're going to come in and they're going to rip it up for Conte at the very least. So I think they're both very good, exciting signings. And I'm looking forward to seeing Bentancur in a Tottenham shirt, hopefully playing against Brighton. Let's see. That might be too close. Who knows?
I needed you on that chat, Rick. I tell you, I was positive.
Bro, I felt your pain. You got up. You're all excited. You're smiling. Your cheeks are up here. And then they're like, no, I wouldn't have bought them. Oh, no, they're not that impressive. Oh, no. You know, like the Amrabat one, when you spoke to the same journalist about Amrabat, and he was like, nah, he's not even as good as Winks. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, what is going on here? Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
But that's part of Paratici. That's part of his strategy, that he had that Amrabat lined up, but he also had the midfielder that he wanted in Bentancur. Now, we talk about hijacking, and we might feel emotional about the Diaz deal being hijacked, but we ended up hijacking Aston Villa to get Bentancur in this double deal. So swings and roundabouts, do you know what I mean? And this swing is going in our way. So let's keep going with it. But I did feel your pain, bro. I was watching you the whole way through, and you was trying to get some positivity out of them. And both of them were just like, oh, well. Now, the Uruguayan fan, he was trying a bit more, but that journalist, bro, he was not having a bar of it.
Can I just say, do you think, because a lot of people talk about Paratici, about how he has like 9 or 10 lists of players that he wants to sign before, you know, so do you think that because it is a game we're playing, we all know that Liverpool will want Luis Diaz, and I'm sure that they know other clubs want other players. So do you think they kind of like, you know, pretend they want to get Luis Diaz to force Liverpool's hand, so that because they know they're not going to get him, so they can get someone else? Do you think that sort of tactical gameplay happens? Maybe we weren't really going to go for Adama Traore. Maybe we were just setting it up. Maybe we weren't going to go for Luis Diaz. Maybe Paratici was just setting it up so that these players can show their hand, and then we can go and get what we really wanted without any, competition.
But I think it happened on the other way round. So when Aston Villa put their bid in for Bentancur, I think that forced us to go, wait, yo, he's coming to Spurs. He's not going Birmingham. He's coming London. All right. And I think that worked in the opposite way. With Luis Diaz, I think Paratici and the club were trying to be clever. Let's take the emotion out of it for a minute. Yeah. Us as Tottenham fans, we're used to transfer windows being controlled by Levy, being waiting, being all of these big names, you know, putting in derisory bids for big names and knowing we're never going to get them, and hoping until the last minute of deadline day that we are going to get them, but it never happens. I think what Paratici done was try to be clever. Like I said earlier, they saw that Liverpool were not going to go in for him in this window.
Right, yeah.
But they knew that Liverpool were after him, obviously, because they've made those inquiries. So I think they tried to sneak in and get a player that is like levels above. Do you know what I mean? He's levels above right now. He's the best player in Portugal, and he's got goals in him galore. But it's not particularly an area that we need to bring in a player. But it would have been next level dynamite. It would have improved us no end. And I think we tried to be clever to get in there.
Like how we did with Conte and Man United.
Yeah, exactly that, bro.
Well, the thing is, Leo, Liverpool scouted Luis Diaz for a year, and when they found out that Tottenham were interested in signing him, it's forced them to sign him now rather than in the summer. That's exactly what's happened. But I just feel that if Tottenham went into a face-to-face meeting, which they did, if they agreed a fee there and then, because Luis Diaz would have been happy to sign for Spurs, if that deal was done quite secretly, like I think, like Aston Villa, for instance, they are doing some superb business at the moment, and they seem to just be pulling these deals out of the hat, out of nowhere, because they're secret deals. And I think that if you're going to do a deal, you've got to do it there and then, not go back for a second offer, because Liverpool nipped in before we even submitted our second offer. So,
but this what happens with Spurs all the time. It happened with who's the Chelsea player? Forget his name now.
Hazard, Willian.
Yeah.
It's happened so many times.
This is a Spurs thing. So I don't know if Spurs like to flaunt. Oh, we're going for this player. We're going for everyone. Look at us. We're going to sign a big player, and it's just we fall flat on our face.
I think they try to do it quietly. And the thing is that where Paratici is connected to so many journalists and so many agents and stuff like that, I think it got leaked out. And I think the club were actually really upset that the information got leaked out. I think they were trying to do it quite quietly and under the table, but it got leaked. And once it got leaked, maybe it was a Liverpool leak. And as soon as it got leaked, that was it. Liverpool were in and they gazumped us, basically.
Yeah.
I think from the reports that I've read, it was the actual agent. It was actually Luis Diaz's agent actually phoned Liverpool and said, "Do you want to sign him or not?" I think it was a bit sneaky. I think.
Yeah.
Darren, let's come to you. Rodrigo Bentancur, are you impressed by this signing?
I am. I mean, I use my stock phrase, which is shithousery, and we lack that in the midfield, as I think it was has been said. Højbjerg, Wint, Skip, perfunctory. They do the job, but we lack that, and teams like Chelsea and other teams, I think lick their lips, and think that, we can be rolled over in the midfield. And like has been said, since Ndombele went, we sorely lack that. We don't have that absolute, we've been missing that absolute steel, someone who can go wallop. And that was the thing that, I'm sure frustrated all of us in the Chelsea matches, that we just got turned over. We got turned over. So if Bentancur is half as good as his reel suggests, then the ball winning, the retention, and if he can thread a through ball to Kane, or whoever's up front, then that is something that we've sorely missed. And has been said, if Conte can grab him, mold him, and turn him into that sort of player that can go wallop in the midfield and then cut out and pull a ball forward, that's what we haven't had. Winks and Skippy have been playing, as I said, better recently, but enough of all this side to side, and the amount of games where we've been seeing players on the wing, like Royale, wanting the ball and the ball doesn't get to them. Well, if this guy can do that and offer us that, which we've been sorely lacking, then thinking on the positive side, that can only be a good thing. We need the steel and the grit and the shithousery that we've been lacking in that midfield.
Aaron, thanks so much for your comment this evening. Darren Hart, let's come to you. You said you watch Serie A quite a lot. What do you make of Rodrigo Bentancur? Give us some real positives about this player, please.
What you get with Bentancur is you get a leader, you get a boss, you get someone who wants the ball constantly. When you look at how we start our especially our attacking play, it falls to Dyer, it falls to Romero, and they're looking to find the pass, and they can't find someone who wants it. He's always going to be presenting for the ball. That's one thing he does all the time. He turns and faces his back four and he wants it to feet. As Ricky said, doesn't matter if he's got two either side, he wants the ball to feet. That's the first quality that we will have that we don't have currently right now. When you look at how we start all of our attacks, Højbjerg or Skip comes to the left or right of our D and they want to pick up the ball, our box, and start from an angle. It can't work that way. It can't work. So this is what needs to happen. Rick, you're getting it. I could feel your pain. So this is what we needed. We needed someone who is going to want the ball in the middle of the park, is going to be bossy in the middle of the park, and he is a leader. And you look at our spine suddenly with someone like that, Romero back when he joins us again, Kane, if you just draw a straight line to Hugo Lloris, it suddenly is strength and leadership right through the middle of our core, which we've not had for a very long time. Also, what he does is, I don't know if we watch a lot of the international stuff. When you watch Højbjerg play for Denmark, he doesn't play as deep. He wants to play further forward. So what this also does is allow Conte another option to go, be more creative. I don't want you here. We have a man who can do that job. You now push forward. So again, it just gives us different options again. We haven't had this in our squad for a very long time. Conte hasn't had these tools since he's been there. Now he's got it. I'm telling you now, this individual here, for me, he is a general. He is a general in that midfield. He's going to want the ball. He's going to be showing what he can do on and off the ball, which is a thing that we don't have players doing all the time. And again, the early pass. We don't have that in our midfield right now. A man who plays that ball on the turn and it's gone. As we quite rightly said, we've seen Romero with his hands up. We've seen players with their hands waving. And it's 4 passes and it doesn't get there. That's why Kane has dropped so deep, because he's trying to be the one to do that pass. Now he's got players behind him going, I don't need you here. I need you up there. It's going to change that dynamic. Trust me. We're on a win. We're on a win.
Love the positivity, Darren.
Chris, as we hit 56 minutes, is there any breaking news right now?
No, my eyes on it.
Not one bit.
I can't really see us signing anyone.
Not Lamptey, Ibrahimovic, Icardi.
Can I just ask you all a very quick question? Just a quick yes or no. Leo, let's start with you. Just a quick yes or no. Do you think we're signing any more players from now until 11 p.m?
No.
No.
Rick?
Let's hope so. I think there's a need, isn't there? But obviously, if the players are out there, so probably no.
Do you know, Rich, that reaction you gave me? I've been asking people questions all week on this channel, and that has been the most common. That has been the most common answer.
It's true, that's why. It's true that Spurs fans at the moment are just going, what is going on?
Yeah. Ricky, do you think we've signed any more before 11?
Well, this is what I was asking. I was hoping if there was some type of link right now with an hour to go, then maybe a rabbit could be pulled out of a hat right now. But if there's no links right now or no hints or rumors right now, then probably not. But you know what, boys and gents and ladies out there that are watching, look at West Ham right now. West Ham were in a really good position. They haven't signed a bean. They tried to get in Rapina. They tried to get in Phillips in midfield. They've tried to sign a striker. They tried to sign Lingard. They've tried to do a lot of stuff right now. And West Ham, arguably, they had a great beginning of their season up until December, Christmas, as per usual. But, they were in a position of strength, but they haven't been able to strengthen. So let's take the positives from what this transfer window is. We've got 2 in. And when we spoke about transfers, I said 2. I was hoping for 3. Would have been great. Would have been a really good January window. But at least we've got these 2 in. So I don't see us, if we haven't been linked to anything right now, if there's nothing that's come out from Romano or anybody else or Sky Sports, then we're probably not going to sign anybody else right now.
Well, I should have said earlier, Darren Altman's on the case. So if there's any breaking news, Darren will interrupt us all and he'll bring it to us. Alex writes on screen now, this has been a good window for us. Let's look forward to the summer. I've said all along that I feel that the main business will be done in the summer. Darren Altman, any more signings from now until 11, do you feel?
I think it's probably, You know,
what would Jim Smith say? What would Jim Smith say, Darren?
Jim White. I mean, listen,
what would Jim White say?
If we can have a last
Jim
minute,
Smith.
you know, hanging out the window at the Tottenham Hotspur training ground, guys, you know, breaking news, then that would be amazing. I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest. I mean, God, wouldn't it be imagine? You know, Paratici's on his old blower now. But that I think we've probably seen what we're going to see tonight. But I mean, just backing up what the guys have said, you know, it's very easy for me to sort of be pessimistic, but I mean, like Darren said, you know, the wages that have been saved, and hopefully, come the summer, that will, you know, be the catalyst for Levy to put his hand in his pocket, something that we're not used to seeing. You know, who knows what's going to happen in the summer? So maybe glass half full. This has been a good window for us. We've got out the dead wood. We've got out the bad blood. You know, if rumours are to believe, you know, Celso wasn't the most popular figure in the dressing room. Dele Alli and Ndombele were sort of walking around the middle of the park like lost sheep, not really knowing what to do. So, you know, maybe, you know, all right, we haven't had the marquee signings that we would have liked, but maybe that it's a freshen up moving forward.
Do you know, Ricky, I'm not sure what's worse, going to the wrong stadium, you know, going to the wrong stadium when we're playing away, picking 12 players in the team and now calling him Jim Smith.
The brandy's hitting. I'm not on champagne.
I thought you were on fire tonight.
Goodness gracious. It was a slip of the... Listen, leave me alone, Chris. Man. Leave me alone, man.
Darren Hart, let's come to you. Do you think there's now 1 hour to go until this transfer window closes? Any more signings for you?
Listen, for the fun, I've got to live in hope. Give me one more.
Come on.
Give me one more. I've got to live in hope. Everyone's got to have a dream. Let's dream of one more. One more.
Now, let's talk about Dele Alli, because I fully expected Dele Alli to go out on loan in this transfer window, and now it's going to be a permanent move to Everton. I cannot believe it. Part of me feels very sad. Part of me feels that we have to be ruthless. You know, sentimental values need to go out the window. We have to be ruthless. We have to move on, and we have to transform this squad. Leo, let's come to you. Your thoughts on Dele Alli moving to Everton, a Premier League club, on a permanent deal?
Yeah, you know what? I said it before with him. I generally don't believe that Dele Alli is a footballer, and what I mean by that is, you know, no, I'm being serious.
I know what you mean.
You said it before as well. Yeah,
I'm being serious because, you know, I honestly believe that he was a guy that was good at football, and he was kind of like said, "I'll play football," and he played it, but his love for football is not like a Kane or a Son or Ronaldo, the people that really want to play the game and want to be good at what they do. You know, he's had the, like, Mourinho came and said to him, look, you know, you're going to regret this, you know, if you don't take this opportunity while you can. You know, he's had so many coaches that said to him, look, you're playing for England, you were the golden child, everyone was talking about how great you were on fire, and then all of a sudden you've had all these other Chelsea players, all these other guys come above you and go into the England team, and there's been no reaction. You know, you've had so many opportunities, fans have come in, and you've had no reaction. And we're all as fans wanting to hurl abuse at him and say, look, give more, but it's not in him. I don't think football is what his real passion. And as you can see from the fact that he does TikToks, he does all these silly dances, he does all, you know, he looks like he was on Love Island last season. That's what he looks like. Do you know what I'm saying? He looks like I'm being serious. It's that mentality. You know, he's a TikTok player. You know,
that reminds me. Sorry to interrupt you. That reminds me of a story. I was working on a cruise ship, and Harry Redknapp came in, and there was like an audience with Harry Redknapp, and he was talking about Benoit Asuakoto.
Right.
And Harry said he never wanted to be a footballer. He never liked it. He never enjoyed it. He said I think he wanted to be a porn star.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing you say that, because I was good friends with Benoit.
Oh, right.
Benoit will always tell me he doesn't like the game. He doesn't care.
Right.
You know, he literally doesn't care. We were at the Chelsea final when we won, and he wasn't playing, and we went to the game. and he didn't care. That he just literally did not give two hoots. And I reckon there's a lot of players in football clubs that don't have the love for the game that we impose on them, that we push them to have, you know, because just because they're wearing the shirt, they're doing a job, you know, they're getting paid hundreds of thousands of pounds a week. Of course, they're gonna, yeah, Tottenham, yay. But when they go home, they've got the fortnight on. They're not, you know, thinking about, oh, we lost today, I really need to go back and win next game. It's not in their spirit. And I think that's with Dele Alli, I think that's who Everton have signed. They've signed a player that is just good at football, but does not have the winning mentality, does not have the love for the football that fans expect him to have. And it's a shame, you know, it's a shame, but he's not that guy, you know, and we shouldn't beat him up about it. We shouldn't cuss him about it. Football is not his thing. And I think it's a good signing for Everton. I think maybe, you know, which is like, what?
I'm going. If you're paid 200 grand a week and you're going, actually, football's not my thing, I just want to do my TikTok thing. But it is though, because that's what he's doing. Listen,
you know, think
bro,
about
I'm a professional athlete. I'm a professional athlete, man. And when I put that GB tracksuit on, literally everything's on that performance. I'm literally living and dying for that. If a player comes to Spurs and they just want to be tossing it off, no, man, you need to be getting out of the club.
But listen,
as a Spurs player, you need to come because you want to play for the team, you want to play for the manager, and the fans are going to get behind you. If you don't, then that's when you kind of. I hate players like that. I hate players that are just taking the paycheck.
Listen, Ricky and I were talking about a few episodes ago about how, you know, if you were getting slighted by abused by your fans, you want to come back the next week and prove that no, you know, this is who I am. You know, you have a self-respect for yourself, you know, and because you don't want people talking bad about you. And for nearly two and a half seasons, everyone's been talking like, where is Dele Alli? Is this his twin brother? What the hell's going on? It's not like he doesn't hear these things, but yet we've got no reaction. So that should tell you, you know, what more motivation do you need as an athlete, as a player, or as even a man with self-respect? What more motivation do you need to not say, I can't have these people talk about me. I'm going to prove them wrong. But what does he do? He does all of this. He does all of this. He's doing all of that. You know,
I think the problem is as well, we've got a chairman that keeps hold of the players. Do you know what I mean? It's like we should have got rid of Dele like a season and a half ago, and we should have cashed in, man. And that's a problem.
But it's a shame.
We get too sentimental about the players. When it's time to move them on, we move them on. We get the money. We get somebody in that wants to play for the team, play for the badge, because it shows in the performance as well. When you're just pottering around the pitch, and then you get subbed, and then you kind of go, oh yeah, got to go down to the dressing room now because I don't want to sit with them dickheads. I'm going, come on, man. Just kind of, you want them sliding in for the
Richard,
ball.
You're a champ. So this you're a different breed. And so this is it.
Mate, I want to fight some of us
here, we want to win. Man. It's like we have self-respect. We're not going to have anyone tell us that we're not good at what we believe, what we came into the game for. There's no way you can come and tell me, nah, Leo's not the one. Are you mad? Do you know what I'm saying? I'm coming back to prove to you that this is no joke. But how many times are people going to keep showing him, Dele, what are you doing? Come on. And he's not proving anything. So 40 million pounds I heard we got from him. That's still a good, you know, returns for that.
We bought him for 5
I would
mil.
definitely snatch that. Sorry?
We bought him for 5 mil.
That's great business. Great business. And so we've got him. He's got signed to Everton. Everton fans, you know what's so funny? Maybe there is an Everton podcast going on right now talking, oh, we got Dele. He's great. He's going to bring this to the game. He's going to be like that. He's an asset. He's strong on the ball.
Well, you know what, Leo? One thing's for sure. I don't think they'll be asking you to talk about Dele Alli on their...
Maybe I need to probably log on to their figures. Actually, guys.
By the way, Carvalho's just gone to Liverpool, 5-year contract.
Wow.
Fabio Carvalho.
See, people were speaking about Aston Villa's business. Now, the only one out of Aston Villa's business I would have taken would be Coutinho, right? But Conte don't want him. But the Liverpool business, look at that. We always have this thing about Harry Kane. Yeah, we can't buy a striker because of Harry Kane. Well, what about Mo Salah, Mane, Jota, Firmino? Yet
it's Liverpool though, Ricky.
But yet you go by Diaz and Carvalho.
It's Liverpool,
which sorts out your future. Do you know what I mean? Like straight away, like it sorts out your future. So that's the business. That's if anybody's won the transfer window, I think Liverpool have.
I agree, but it's Liverpool though. There's Liverpool, so we can't compete with Liverpool. We can't.
Well, we could have in the time under Poch when we was in the Champions League every week. Do you know what I mean? You got to remember how many seasons we finished above Liverpool, but we didn't take our opportunity, and we didn't go with that motivation and increase our squad and increase our level of our squad at that time. Instead, we sat on it. But we all know that story of our past. Let's leave the past in the past for a minute. Let's keep it moving forward. Conte era. It's a new era. Let's keep it moving forward.
Rich, let's come to you on Dele Alli. It's initially a free transfer. After 20 games, it got £10 million. It could reach up to 40 million euros for Dele Alli. Is there a part of you that feels upset that he's gone out on a permanent deal?
Yeah, 40 million if Everton win the league this season, right? Something like that. Look, I love Dele when he came into the club, and I think what he brought to the club was the excitement. He was on the ball, and you just didn't know what he was going to do. Little tricks, burst of pace, the deft touches, that fox in the box, that cheekiness on the ball. Love that. But he's lost it. Like Leo was saying, just lost the passion, man. Lost the passion. Lost the reason why he signed for the club. And when players do that, unfortunately, again, you just got to move them on, man. Move. And what Leo said about Adama, I think he's right, because it would have been a bad signing. I think his heart was at Barcelona. And you're always going to go with players that have got the heart at another team. So I know it's obviously a bit of sour grapes, because I'd love to see him on the right, busting his move up the wing. But yeah, man, Dele just frustrating, and wish him all the best. Like I say, we got him for 5 million, and we had some great moments with Dele, like a couple of goals he scored against Chelsea. The one against Crystal Palace was phenomenal, and also that season as well when we went unbeaten at the Lane, played great. But apart from that, the last 3 seasons have been like start. We saw a little bit against Liverpool, didn't we? We saw a little bit. How didn't you then go, actually, that's the real Dele Alli?
Maybe it was fluke.
Why can't I produce that every week?
It was fluke. Maybe every you know, like they said, a broken clock.
The TikTok wasn't working.
No, maybe they know what they say. A broken clock is right once every day.
Leo, Owen live on screen. Leo and Dele should do a TikTok video together.
Hey,
and you mentioned Love Island about Dele Alli. You've been on Love Island, haven't you?
Yeah, but I'm not a footballer. That's the difference.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Love Island.
And I went to Smash Birds. I did my job. I went there and I did my job. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like I wouldn't even expect him to finish there. I'll be like, mate, Dele, what are you doing? You can't even eat your dinner. You can't even finish your dinner here.
Well, Everton are 7 points off the bottom. They haven't won in 5 games. They could go down. So there you go.
Ricky, let's come to you. Do you think Dele Alli is going to be a success at Everton?
I hope so for him. But only time will tell. I think it's a real shame about Dele. You know, when he came in, like Rich was saying there and the boys were saying there, like when he came in, he had so much to prove. He had Bentaleb and Mason ahead of him, and he was never supposed to start straight away. But he done so well in pre-season and impressed Poch so much that he had to put him in. And in every single game that he was in, he just kept improving and kept building on his performances, where it was just, you know, it was unquestionable that he wasn't in the side at any one time. And he done phenomenal for us. If you look at his numbers, he done phenomenal for us. As a second striker, stroker number 10, you know, Eriksen putting in like through balls and over the top balls for him, left, right, and centre, that he thrived on. So it is a real shame. It is a real shame. I think like the season just gone, He went out to Dubai to try and do extra training during the summer.
Yeah.
To come back, you know, like on it. And I think when he got his opportunities, there was times that he tried too hard a little bit, which he, you know, he has a natural game. Like Leo was saying earlier, he plays off the cuff, you know, but you know, we haven't seen a nutmeg in a long time. We haven't seen his little bit, you know, he's aggressive kind of attitude has gone as well. Not that I want him to be punching people on a corner. Do you know what I mean? Like he did. He punched, I can't remember who he punched in the gut, but like, but he missed that by taking that out of his game. I think he missed that. And then I think he got to the wage bracket where he thought the world was his oyster, and it was. He was getting spoke about in terms with Neymar. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, he was getting spoken in terms like that.
Ricky, Dele Alli went to Dubai to party. Let's keep it real. That
Love
whole
Island
training session. No, I'm being serious. You're laughing. Where Dubai is party central. Where you're not thinking Delhi in Dubai. That's a bit okay. That's a bit.
Yeah, but
it's not a Delhi thing to do. And it dawned on me that brother went to party.
Well, do you know what? I didn't think about that element. I've got to admit.
But now
like,
you see
a lot of people go to Dubai in certain areas. But no, I think that you're probably right. We saw the training videos, but we didn't see his nightlife videos.
There you
know
go.
What I mean? On what he was doing in the club. So
he was with Burner Boy.
Oh my gosh.
WizKid. That's what he was doing. And then let me just wake up in the morning and kick a ball around a little bit to make people think that I'm paying for big training. Dubai is the party central.
But you know what? I've been in casts, yeah, where a group of actors, a cast. I've been in casts and on shows where not everybody's intention is the same. Okay, so for instance, my intention when I go into a job is to do the best that I can do to try and let's say it's a character. I want to research the character inside backwards. I want to know his backstory, his forestory. I want to know what happens if he goes left, what happens if he goes right. I'm gonna try and do everything that I can and do the best that I can in rehearsals, so that when it comes time to do the show, I give everything. Right? I give everything, but not everybody's intentions are the same. There are some people that were in the show that were just there for their Instagram. There's some people that were in the show that was just there to be famous. There were some people that were in the show that was just there to get rich. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the intentions are different. I had myself and Hartman, we've worked together over the years. You know, we grew up together. You know, so there's been many times that we've been together and we've had the same mentality about how to execute a job. And there's been people that have just not been on the same wavelength or on the same level. They was there for girls. They wasn't there to like, you know, get in and to the nooks and the crannies of the job and what we're trying to achieve. They were there to look good so that the girls came. And maybe with the dip in form, that this is where Dele's head and heart went. It went into other things. His intentions were different. His intentions might be to be rich. His intentions might be to have like 18 cars and Gucci belts left, right, and center, or Boohoo belts left, right, and center. Do you know what I mean? Like that, his intentions might have changed. I'm just hoping for his sake and for the ability that we saw, you know, and for all of the things that he brought to Tottenham. I hope for his sake that his love of the game comes back working at Everton under someone like Lampard, who can say to him, look, here's a free role as a number 10. This is what I want you to do. I want you to, you know, work off the front man, do what you do, Dele. And I hope it's a success for him, for all of the memories that he brought, because I just think it's a sad end. It's a sad end. I wanted him to be, you know, Ballon d'Or winner. I wanted him to be phenomenal. I wanted him to rip up the script for Tottenham every single time he played, you know, and it just hasn't worked out that way. So I just wish him well, and I hope that he does well for Everton, so that we get paid as well. Because 40 million on the level. Listen, that 40 million that he would potentially bring in, plus the money that we've got back, which I never thought we was going to get back for Ndombele, that's pretty much 100 million back in our bank account.
Yeah, for sure.
If everything goes well. Do you know what I mean? And we're not even talking about the 400 million financial fair play that we're allowed to spend. So that could put a big chunk of dough into our kitty come the summer, come the serious business time.
Yeah, of course. The players have got to do well, though, Ricky, haven't they? And we've wished them well to do that in order to get paid, as you say. Darren, let's come to you. Comment on screen now, and it's very similar to what I said earlier. We've learned for certain in this window that Fabio Paratici won't hesitate to execute the hit if Antonio Conte sanctions it. Surely Antonio Conte wanted this clear out, because when we think of the players that have left, are we really going to miss these players? Because they haven't really featured or done very much at Spurs this season anyway.
Well, exactly. And, you know, as I think my namesake said, you know, it can only be a good thing. You know, if people are playing, hanging around and leaving not a bad smell, but they don't really add anything to the club, then you get rid of them, and you want signings. I mean, let's look at the positives. You know, all right, your guests the other day, Chris, weren't shouting and screaming about Kulusevski and Bentancur, but I mean, sorry, I've forgotten he's gone from the screen. But like he said, you know, addition by subtraction, it can only be a good thing. And the money that we've made and will have going forward, let's just see where we go at the end of the season. If we can get a top 4 or Europa League, then, you know, it's better than we did last season. So yeah, I completely agree. And let's just hope that Conte's happy. That's the main thing. You know, I want him to be happy, because, you know, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And if he's not and he buggers off, then everything will implode. Everything will implode. The shit will hit the fan. So let's just hope that Conte's happy. He's happy with these two, as been said, that Darren said that Kulusevski can open things up and create forward momentum. We've got hopefully a warrior in the shape of Bentancur. And you know, let's be positive, and let's think that these two signings, if nothing else happens in the next, you know, 40 minutes, then it's been a decent January, and then let's see what happens in the summer. But I think that's a salient point, though. You know, I think getting rid of all the dead wood and people that weren't really going to feature in the squad anyway, then that's not a bad thing.
Sorry, Chris, before you continue, just for your transfer, we see, I'm just looking, because I think I'm your online guru guy here for some reason, but we've got 1,200 people like on this, and I want to, it will be my gift to you if we can transfer you to 65,000 subscribers, you know, before the window closes. I mean, how many people have we got watching right now? 1,200. Any one of you 1,200 that are not subscribing, please, can we get Chris to 65,000 subscribers for the transfer deadline? Can we at least try to do that, guys? I know you're good for it. So if you're not subscribing, can we press that subscribe button? Because Chris ain't gonna say it, because I can't be having these odd numbers. 6'4". What is it? It's not working. It's not working. I'm sorry. I know I'm cutting everyone's conversation here.
No,
annoying me.
Do your thing.
It was kind
of PR business. Yeah.
So 64.6. Let's get it up there, guys. Transfer deadline. Come on. And I appreciate you guys, everyone watching, to press the thumbs down to get us to 500 likes. I appreciate that. Let's keep it going though. Sorry guys. Carry on. What were you saying again? Sorry.
Thank you, Leo. Thank you. Darren Hart, let's come to you. Of course, we've seen that hashtag back Conte so often. I've even tweeted it a number of times myself. But surely, by offloading these players in this window as well, that is backing Antonio Conte, because he is trying to shape this squad up, offload the players that are no good to him, you know, bring some money in, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, in the summer we can invest this money and you know, crack on and have a good season next year.
Absolutely. As I said, it's all about showing your intentions. As we saw with the first transfer window this season, start of the season, Paratici works his business very different. He's willing to do deals in a different way. What's happened now with this deal, if this transfer window is like, yeah, I'm out. With this window, what we've been able to do is get a lot of our deadwood out, which we had to do. But these are players that some people, for sentimental reasons, would have held on to. Or going, let's give them one more chance. Let's give them one more season. Let's give them till the end of the season. We can't be doing that anymore. Dele, we've all said it here, Dele was done. Like, we all love him in our heart, But on the pitch, in the squad, Dele was done. And this is the only place where I believe Dele can maybe succeed, because he's got Frank Lampard there as a manager who will go, I know how you play, because I played like that. If you're not going to learn from me, who are you going to learn from? If you're not going to get your last chance from me, where are you going to get another chance? And he goes into a star, he can flourish again, and if he doesn't, it's down to him. But I think all the business that has happened, as I said, the outs are so more important to me than the ins right now, because Conte has lined them all up. He's gone, Celso, no. Ndombele, no. Dele, no. I don't want these around. He's looked at Gil and he's gone, I'm not sure on him right now. I don't know what I feel about this kid. And I'm thinking, maybe he's been sent back to Spain to be happy. Go back around your family, go back around your people, put a smile back on your face, then come back summer and let's work. Then let's see where you are. Let me reassess things. Because right now, I can't fit you in my first 11. I don't really know what you do. So let me send you away. I can reassess the team around me, and then I'll work out what I do with you. And as we've seen, I think what Conte is doing and what the board have done now, what Paratici has done right now, says we're moving. We are moving so much more in the right direction. I agree, as Darren said, I want to know if Conte is happy with the business that he's got in. If he's gone, I know what the intention is. I know that the summer, the kit is now there. The players that we want will be more available, because there's also a lot of players whose contracts expire at the end of the season who haven't secured moves yet. And we know Paratici is all about the freebie. And we also know that the market is better in the summer. And we can work our business. And if the kit is already there, 100 mil potentially, but all these wages are now being cleaned out, suddenly we've got a kitty to play with. Let's make business. Now we've also got a squad with space. We haven't got to wait. We can get it done early. So I think this has shown great intention from the board. I know we slag them off all the time, but suddenly we're putting ourselves in a position to kick on in the summer. That's what we're doing.
Darren, Stevie Ross on screen now. But the boy seems to have completely lost interest. What do you think changed with Dele Alli? Because as I've said on this channel many times, and as some of you guys have said, you know,
wait, Chris, if you're gonna read out the guy's tweet, read it from the start. Read it from the start.
Yeah, go on, Chris.
Yeah.
Go on.
Chris, read it from the start, bro.
He was gonna make me read
Say
it.
it properly.
No. Go on, Chris. Go on.
Chris, if you're gonna read the man's tweet, read it from the start.
Yeah,
Sorry,
here we go.
God, I'll let you do this one, Rick.
No.
Dele gone Everton for Dageldem, namely Maria Guardiola. Good luck to him, but the boy seems to have completely lost interest. Come on, you Spurs. Dageldem. Dem sugar. Dageldem.
Oh, that was funny.
Do you know, I've done such professional shows all week. This is so different. This show is so different to all the shows I've done all week.
We try our best.
I'm not blaming you, Darren.
Can I just say, in all
No, but he's
seriousness,
right though. He's right.
If you've got irrespective of what you think of Mourinho's tactics and the way we played, obviously, we've all got our opinion on that. If you've got a world-class manager saying, I believe in you, like, I know what you can do, like, show us what you can do, and you don't perform for him, and then, we'll forget Nuno, and then the same things happen with Conte, then something's inherently wrong. I mean, we all wish him well, but if someone like Mourinho says, you fill your boots, mate, I believe in you, show me what you can do, then it says more about his mentality. And that doesn't mean to say I don't wish him well. I really hope, like you were saying, Ricky, that he gets a new lease of life under Lampard, and I'd love to see him play like he was playing with Eriksen and Kane and Sonny. That link-up play, unbelievable. The flicks, the movement, the vision. That's what we want to see from Dele, and it's just a shame that he didn't do it at Spurs. I don't know why. Maybe it was Dageldem.
That's what it is.
But I think there's a number of factors. I think with Dele, you had somebody who burst on the scene with so much natural ability. What he was doing was instinctual. It wasn't something that you could train into him. He just naturally did it. And I think we all know individuals in our world, especially from the football side, who, when we were growing up, had that natural ability and could have gone pro. but their attitude wasn't right. And I think Dele may be one of those that's what happened with him. He got to a place where suddenly he had a lot of money and he was in a world where he was like, football really isn't that important to me because I'm just that good at it. And he stopped working. And once you stop working, it's game over. Sure. The league progresses, the level progresses. And if your natural ability is what you're going to live on, it's not going to be the currency anymore because hard work sometimes will outweigh ability. And I think Dele just lost that. And then as we saw, he tried to think too much. And he was never a thinker on the football pitch. He was an instinctual player. And I think once all of those dynamics fell out of sync, Dele fell apart. And that's what I thought has happened to him. He's absolutely disconnected. He's fell apart. And if I'm really honest, if someone said to me, is Dele going to succeed at Everton? I would say, no, he's not. Because I don't think he wants to be playing football. I don't think his heart's in it anymore. I think this is another paycheck for him right now to feed the world that he's in. But I don't think we're suddenly going to see Dele come out and be a new player, new lease of life, and rule the Premier League like he was before. Because I don't believe that's going to happen. I want it to, but honestly, I don't think it's going to happen.
I think you're right, because even for me, the more I think about Dele, and this is not a Dele bashing show.
No, not at all.
No. Because I said from the start, he's just not a footballer. I know that he did his hair for FIFA. So when FIFA changed their hair, things like that, I honestly, I would say that's why he did it for. The fact that he changed to Dele, like Pele, Dele, it's bravado, it's all show, you know, the color in his hair. It's literally, I want FIFA to make my hair like this in the game. I believe that's his world. Just like what Darren said, that's his world. That's what he's about. And when he moves to Everton, you know, you've already had Mourinho, you've already had Conte. What's Lampard gonna do? What's he gonna? You've got the greats already.
Yeah, but I would say that I think Dele especially missed Eriksen, and what he's got when he's going to Everton is Van der Beek, who looks for that same type of ball. So on the other side of things, although I agree with you both, on the other side of things, maybe, hopefully, if he's got somebody in midfield that can find him and provide him with the passes that he thrived on when he was at his peak, maybe that could be the lease of life that he needs. On the footballing side.
So we get paid, right?
Listen, Leo, Hartman, I agree with both of you, what you're saying there. I think he dropped off and he started to indulge in Fortnite and TikTok because he wasn't a footballer anymore. He wasn't recognized as a footballer anymore.
You guys are
so
killing him,
as a young man, but as a young man, he's like, well, what else can I be passionate about? Well, I'll be passionate about that, which is sad. It's sad.
I think also, like, Dele's gone to Everton because of his record, Lampard's record with the younger players as well. Obviously with Chelsea as well as Derby, he did a great job with the younger players there. And I do think he's got an opportunity. There's obviously at the other end of the table, they'll be trying not to get relegated, and whether his passion for playing football will be the same with having not as good technical players at Everton, because clearly they've got a bare bones squad. They've spent a lot of money on a lot of tosh, and I think like you're right. I can't see Dele getting back to the level that he was a couple of years ago. And let's hope we get the money that we deserve for him. I think he's always been like a £40 million player. I just going for free. It's just like hurts, doesn't it? It hurts like a Dele Alli going to Everton for nothing.
Yeah,
he might only play like 7 games and then just do one.
True.
I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if he says I'm retiring in a year or so. Like I won't be surprised if he says that. Sorry,
he's 25 now, but
no,
you've got to remember.
Serious.
But you got to remember when he was 23, he done an interview where he was like, you know what? Well, I'm not really as young as I used to be. And I was like, whoa, you're 23, bruv. You're not 33. You're 23. Yeah. And he was talking about not being able to do the things that he could do as a young man. And he was 23.
But
so I don't know what was going on at that point.
Because when you think about Lampard, as Richard, you quite rightly said, he is proven to work with the young ones, take them under his wing and boost them. Now, Dele is at that age where he should be taking someone else under his wing. He should be the guy reaching. So if Lampard's got him and go, oh my gosh, I've got to cuddle you as well. It's like, come on, mate. I'm expecting you to be one of my leaders here, but I've got to help you out. So it all depends where his head's at. And I say mentally, I just don't know if he's there. I just really don't know.
Agree. Yeah, I agree, mate.
Well,
Yes,
we wish him all of the very best, and hopefully we get the maximum money for him. I just wanted a very quick yes or no from the five of you, because it's a yes from me. Christian Eriksen, he's signed for Brentford today. He's back in the Premier League. Absolutely fantastic news, and I cannot wait to see him play his first game for Brentford. But Leo, let's start with you. Just a very quick yes or no. Would you have liked to have seen him back at Spurs, and could he have still done a job at Tottenham?
No, I mean, I love Eriksen. I appreciate what he's done for Spurs. It was horrendous what happened. It was literally horrendous because it felt like, you know, someone you cared about. Just literally, it's like, oh my, it was horrendous. And so now I like the fact that he's well, but there's something about him coming back into football that I'm not really. It just doesn't really sit well with me. I feel nervous even watching him when he was training, and for him to come back to Spurs, I don't want to say it, but it's like I hope he's healthy. I hope he's healthy. That's all I want to say. So it's just I've got mixed feelings. I'm glad that he's well, and I'm glad that he's alive, but the fact that he's come back to the game. Yeah, I know. Yeah, whatever, Wayne. Whatever, Wayne. Okay, listen.
I've realised that. I've realised that Leo and Ricky
I bet it's Chris that said that. Chris, I know you're really Wayne in disguise, Chris, isn't it? It's like, all right, Leo.
Rich, what about you? Would you have liked to see Eriksen back?
Leo,
yes
are you
no?
on here to smash birds? Yes or no?
Yes.
Everything else is like no. I think he's gone to the right club there. I think he's gone to a ball playing club. I think he's going to be a lot of protection there. I think he's going to be used occasionally. He's not going to play a lot of games. I think it's good. It's good for him. But like Leo as well, I think you've got to. 7 months ago, he died 5 times on the pitch. So it's the body is something that takes a bit of a hammering. As a professional athlete, we see this all the time. So I would say no for Spurs, but it's nice to see him play. No, I said no, Leo, bro, no.
I didn't write that. Chris wrote that.
Ricky, what about you?
Well, it's not going to be a short answer. So
Good luck getting a quick yes or no now, for huck's sake. Here we go.
Well, I mean, initially it's a no, but the reason being is that we've had so many links to people that have had heart trouble and heart defects that I think it just would have been devastating if he would have come back to Tottenham and collapsed on the field for us. I think it just would have. I initially would have liked him to stay at Ajax really and rebuild his career there. On the plus side of it, this could be, because he's got a second chance, not only at life, but in football, this could be really successful for Brentford. He could go on like a next level to kind of, because he appreciates life and appreciates football and appreciates everything that he's been brought into his life. You know, I'm sure he's got enough money to retire, but he's chosen to come back. He's chosen to come back, and I think that it could be. It's a great signing for Brighton, for Brentford. But I don't think it was. I would have, if it would have happened, I would have been happy about it, and I would have been like, let's bring him on 60 minutes every game to, diversify the game. But really and truly, it's a no.
He can take a free kick as well, which we haven't got in the team.
He can take a free kick, but he can't take a corner, which we know. So he can just come on swings and roundabouts.
Ricky, there's a few comments saying, is that a yes or a no? And I'm a little bit unsure as well.
So am I. Let's keep it moving. I said both. So am I. Keep it moving. Go on to Altman. Come on. Come on, Jim.
Very quick yes or no. Here we go. I first got into showbiz in the late 70s. I remember my mum distinctively saying for me, I think it was at Christmas, late 70s, and it was cold outside, the snow was...
You know what? I think I'm going to lose subscribers on this stream.
You will never lose subscribers on this. No way.
No, in all seriousness, I mean, you know, what a player he was for us. What a player! I wish him. I don't think he should come back to Spurs. I wish him every success at Brentford. But and the most important thing, he's happy and he's healthy. Now, talking about old players getting back, here's a left Bale. I was gutted it didn't work out for him. Absolutely gutted. That wasn't the question, but I'm answering another question. There you go.
Well, he scored goals though. I'm pretty. He was over 10 goals, didn't he?
He's
on his return.
I was so upset when it didn't work out with him.
Yeah.
I sat on the bench for 6 months and did bugger all. But when he came back, he lit the sky alight. I thought he was brilliant. Brilliant.
Darren Hart, what about you? Eriksen back or not?
No.
Is that it?
No.
That's it.
That's exactly what I asked for. Thank you, Darren. Thank you.
Listen,
Right.
I would have taken Defoe though. I would have taken Defoe for.
I would have taken Defoe.
Don't make me slap both of you.
No, I'm being serious. I would have taken Defoe easily.
Darren Hart, let's stay with you. Brian Hill confirmed on loan until the end of the season at Valencia. He's made 20 appearances for Spurs so far. Most of them have come from the bench. Fabrizio Romano confirmed that there are no options included, so it's a straight loan until the summer. He will then return to the start of next season. What have you made of his time at Spurs, and are you surprised that he's gone on loan at a Spanish club?
I'm not surprised he's gone to a Spanish club because he's a boy still. He is a boy, and he probably needs a bit of family love. He needs a bit of TLC because the Premier League probably hit him by storm. Not knowing the language, coming over here, those tackles are tough. He's light, but he's got ability. You saw it when you watch him play for the Spanish national side, what he did in the Olympics and stuff like that. He is quality. However, is he going to fit for the Premier League? We've had a lot of conversations on here about he may have gone to a Championship side or a lower Premier League side for that development to get him working. I'm thinking right now, Conte may have just gone, I don't know if I want to keep him. I'm not sure. If you sent him down there and he got clattered and got battered, we may have lost money on him. He may have gone down in value if we wanted to get rid of him. So I think send him back to Spain. He knows that league. He's going to be happy again. He gets a little bit of sun in his veins. You get some home cooking. He feels a bit more in love with football again. And maybe he shows us what he could do, or maybe puts himself in the transfer window so that we can get the money that we want for him if we sell him on. And I think that right now we're unsure. That's why there was no agreement to sell him permanently. And I think Conte just leaving the window open, but trying to make a young boy happy. That's what I think.
Yeah. Leo, let's come to you. I feel like we're running out a little bit of time. We've got so much still to cover. Tongi Ndombele, Giovanni Lo Celso, and Brian Hill all going out on loan today. Your thoughts on all of those deals?
The only one where I felt, you know, but I understood was the Brian Gill one. I do agree with Darren what he's saying, that yeah, you know, he needs to go back to Spain to probably bulk up, play regular football. I think he needs to be physically better, because I think he's great. And when I know we're talking about show reels, but his show reel for me was amazing. You know, really, really stood out. I was actually comparing him to Messi. That's how good I actually felt of the potential that. No, I'm being serious. That's the potential that I actually think Gill could be. I was thinking, wow, we actually probably signing. Like, how is Spurs signing this player? So when I heard that they were looking to sell him initially, I was a bit scared. But then I realized it was a loan, so I thought, okay, that gives me a bit more confidence. I think Conte does like him. That's why he's on the loan. I think Conte is going to bring him back just so that who's Mr. Knight? Whatever. I do think I'm going to be quick. I do think that, in fact, let me just make a tea 1 second.
Listen.
I do think out of all of that, I don't mind Lo Celso going. I don't mind who else did you say? Ndombele. Yeah, so those players,
Ndombele, Dele, Lo Celso,
yeah, all those
Gill.
players, all day long, not even going to lose sleep. Gill, I'm happy he's just alone, and I look forward to him coming back to Spurs, bigger and stronger.
Rick, your thoughts on those three going out on loan today?
Yeah, 100% agree with what Leo said. It's really important that we move those players on. Gill's obviously promising. The other two have just flattered to deceive. Celso, what is he doing in the team? What does he actually do? He comes on and doesn't. We need weapons on the bench that come onto the bench and come off the bench and make an impact. Whenever he's come on, he's not really done anything. Terrible player. I'm like, waste of money that was. And for me, what do we want from the players? We want impact, and all three of those needed moving on for different reasons.
Can you believe, Richard? Combined, Lo Celso and Ndombele, over £100 million for both of them. They've only completed 16 games, 90 minutes between the two of them combined in their time at Tottenham.
They're both lazy. Yeah.
Say that again. I missed that.
They've completed 90 minutes on 16 occasions between them during their time at Tottenham.
In how many years, Chris?
Yeah.
Well, Ndombele signed in 2019 in the summer. That's 2.5 years.
2.5 years, bro.
Gio's been with us a couple of years as well. That's 16 times combined between them. I cannot believe that stat.
That's nuts.
And wow. clearly various managers don't believe in their ability. And all the lads have said, these guys weren't actually in the starting 11. They're all on the bench. And they were just bench warmers. And we don't need bench warmers. We need people that are in the starting 11, having an impact on the pitch, and then we need weapons on the bench that come off and that have that impact if we're behind or if we want to get a winner.
Rich, just coming back to you for a second, do you feel slightly worried that we haven't got a lot of quality on the bench when we're letting these players go out the door, even though they haven't really performed for us? Would you have rather them on the bench?
I think Bergwijn, he showed in that brief 80 seconds that he's got something about him, even though it was a bit of Donkey Doherty kind of set him up a little bit, didn't he? Miscued the ball, it fell to Bergwijn and he smashed it in. Doherty, like Darren, I think he is useless. And I'm going to say that. As a professional athlete, Wolves, they were licking their lips. When they sent him, I'm telling you now, every one of those fans was paying for that Uber down to London. Useless man. And what does he do? Can anybody tell me what he actually does? He played coming into the box.
He played on the left the other day. They swapped him and he played on the left, and he was all right, wasn't he?
For 12 minutes. For about 12 minutes, useless.
That is
hilarious.
I'm just trying to, we've all had a drink. I'm just trying to lighten the mood, Joe.
That is hilarious.
No, I agree with you. You've got to be realistic, haven't you?
Matt Doherty probably played the best 45 minutes in the Tottenham Hotspur shirt in that second half.
That's not hard, though, is it? That's not hard. It's useless.
On the right side, yeah. He made an impact on that right side. But that's the best he's ever done, Chris.
Yeah,
that's the best he's ever done.
We've not spoken about... The first time we've not spoken about Kane, not one word about Kane.
Well, we're trying to get through all the players, but if you answered yes or no, we might get through all the players.
Are you going to blame me? No, listen. Let me tell you. No. I'm not going to have that. Let me tell you who kicked off the long talk. It was Ricky set the standards.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Listen, I don't know.
Ricky, are you finished having a dump yet? Anyway, are you in that toilet having a dump? What are you doing, man?
Listen, bro, I've got to find the toilet roll. This is what it is. I can't find the toilet roll. So I've got to sit here until the toilet roll turns up.
So I'm just playing along here,
Listen, you took 10 minutes to hit the like button, all right, Leo? So listen, don't be talking about me, bruv.
Leo ain't even subscribed.
Exactly.
Mate,
I'm not even subscribed myself. It's true.
All right, let's keep it moving. Come on, Chris. Go on, son.
Ricky, let's stay with you. The players have gone out on loan. Brian Hill, Giovanni Lo Celso and Ndombele. Are you upset by any of them leaving today? And can you see Ndombele or Lo Celso returning in the future and playing for Spurs again?
Honestly, I can't see any of them returning, apart from Hill. Ndombele, I'm really upset with because he was the one that I wanted when we signed him. He was the one player that I really wanted, that I felt could be a world beater in our midfield, that could step into the shoes of Dembele and not only do what he done, but give us an end product as well. I'm really upset that it hasn't worked out for us. I'm happy that we've got our money back, though. Lo Celso, he's never done anything for me. He's just never done any, and I've wanted him to do stuff. But he's just never done anything for me. We still, as Tottenham fans, we still don't know what his best position is whatsoever. All right. So that, good luck to him. Do what you got to do. Hill, for me, is a project player. All right, he's a project player. So he's a bit like Clark right now, which I know will upset a lot of Tottenham fans.
No,
but
right.
we know that he can be brushed off the ball with a sneeze right now in the Premier League. It's like, and then he's off the ball. Do you know what I mean? But he does have a lot of speed, a lot of skill, a lot of ability, low center of gravity, can score. He's got a left foot on him. I think he could be dynamite, right? I think he could be dynamite. So right now, the best thing for him is game time. It's game time. I agree with a lot of Tottenham fans that were like, yes, he should have an English move because of the adaptation of the way the leagues play and to get used to what is needed robustly in the English league. But my main thing is game time. He needs to be able to, like Darren said, Hartman said, you know, he needs some home cooking. He needs a piece of sun on his back. He's still going to go out there with the fitness regime that our fitness coaches are giving him. Don't get it twisted. He's still got to do like 1,000 push-ups a day, drink Adama Traore's protein shakes, and have 2 steaks and a burger. He's still got to do those things, all right? But the main thing about that is that he gets game time so he can develop, because he is a dynamite player. I still, even when he comes back in the summer, I think he'll probably go out on loan again to an English side for another year. Do you know what I mean? So, and then when it comes back in for the 3rd time, I know he's got a timer on me. Do you know what? I wish I could swear right now, but I'm not going to do it because I love you, Leo. But, you know, I think that he'll go back on loan in the summer to an English side, which will then develop him for the English league. And I think we will see the benefit of that. But he's a project player. The rest of them that have gone, they were only names on a piece of paper for us. They wasn't doing anything on the pitch. So let's get them out. Let's get them. Let's save some money on wages. Let's like Darren and the boys have said. Let's create some space in the squad so that we don't have to wait when it comes down to the summer, and it puts us in a healthier position. We've got 2 players right now that want to be at Tottenham, that want to play for Tottenham, that want to run through walls and into the ground for Tottenham and Conte. So let's be happy with that and keep it moving.
Yes, you should have had music. You should have had a music bed behind that. I was getting quite emotional. Come on higher, brilliant.
I had a tiger, bro. I had a tiger.
I completely agree. I want to see Brian Hill do an ollie skip and go out and put a bit of weight, put a bit of muscle, because he, and I felt so upset for him. Coming on for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes. It's like, oh, come on. And he was the one that wanted the ball, was running around in circles, was trying to create space when we were so flat and so static for the past, few months, where there's just been no movement being created. Everyone just sort of standing around. He was the one, which way did he go? He was the one that was running, wanting the ball, trying to find space. So I'm the same as you, Ricky. I really hope he goes to Valencia, puts some weight, gets some game time, and I hope he comes back improved. It'd be lovely to see him. I think he's got great potential.
Darren Hart, let's come to you. Ndombele and Celso, disappointing.
Absolutely disappointing. I'm just glad they're out now. They need to be gone. Celso, the one me and Ricky have spoke about on a number of occasions, he drives us insane. If you watch him play for Argentina, I don't know who we have. I just don't know the player we're fine, because he's a different player when he's there. And it also showed you everything about Ndombele, the fact that the only club that wanted him back was the club that we bought him from. Says it all there.
Now, great question on screen now. Question for the panel. Who's been your best Spurs transfer while supporting the club over the years? Now, I've said this all week. Jurgen Klinsmann for me back in 1994. What a real statement signing, world-class signing. Let's just quickly, give me 1, 2, 3 names. Leo, let's start with you.
Oh, please, no, don't start with me. Let me think. Start with someone else.
I'll start.
Yeah, go on.
I'll shout them out.
Matt Doherty when he leaves. Was it a transfer?
No, seriously. When was the last time you felt really, really excited about a signing coming into Spurs?
Well, you asked me that the last time I was on, and I think from my memory,
you still didn't give me an answer, did you?
Edgar Davids, I said. Edgar Davids. I thought he was. I can't think of anyone really that's absolutely got me. And I won't use the word moist.
I said Ginola last time.
Yeah. Ginola.
He was like phenomenal.
Love Ginola. Love
even on I'm a Celebrity. Still love the guy.
Listen,
Big up.
Darren Hartman was with me. We was together in a van where we was touring a theatre show. It's called TIE. When we're touring a theatre show, when Jermaine Defoe signed the first time, and I went mental. Now Darren knows Jermaine. Do you know what I mean? But like, I was going mental that we signed Jermaine Defoe, that went to the championship and scored, like, you know, what is it, like every game for 10 games or something like that. Yeah. And I loved Jermaine Defoe, man. But Ginola is my favorite player ever. Edgar Davids, it just, when he came in, it rose the level of the whole team. So yeah, those are some great shouts, boys.
Darren, what about you?
Well, mine have been said, so yeah, I'm saying Davids, Van der Vaart was a massive one. We never saw that coming, came completely left field. Then just for comedy value, got excited when Redruff was announced.
Do you know what, Darren? You've mentioned that now. Give me some of your worst signings. Give me some of the players that you really like. Oh my God, what have we done?
Andy Booth.
Oh, goodness.
Andy Booth.
Let's go. Let's go.
Woo.
I would say Ronnie Rosenthal for me.
Graziak.
Graziak.
Yeah.
Toda. Asimovic.
Someone said Soldado.
Tramanzani.
Andy Sinton, you know them way there.
Nicola Berti, who didn't really do too much. Who else?
Nice.
Come on, boys.
That's some stinkers.
There's a lot. It's funny how you've all shouted out the worst signings and you didn't really shout out the best.
No, I agree with you, Chris. To get that euphoria, I remember because back in those days, internet wasn't really popping. It was radio. We had to listen to the games. And I remember the guy was saying, Jürgen de Wagen wunderbar. So Klinsmann for me was like, oh my God, Jürgen is coming. That was my one.
Look at the names coming in.
Darren Bet. Oh, that's
there's a few here, yeah.
By the way, shout out to Chris Cowlin. Like, he's like a DJ, like firing off all these. Brilliant. It's brilliant to watch you work. I hope you're getting paid double time, Chris.
Darren, is there any news? Because we're minutes away now from the end of the transfer window.
Last tweet, it's a race against time for Liverpool to sign Fabio Carvalho. Dan Burns has joined Newcastle to Brighton. That's really it. European. That's it, really. Nothing much going on now. Mandava to Atletico Madrid. That's
that a no?
Yeah, it's all gone quiet. It's all gone quiet.
That's one for me. With Dan Burn going from Brighton, I thought we could have got rid of maybe Roden and Doherty and a bit of money and tried to get in Lamptey. I mean, who knows if that deal would have worked, but if I was on FIFA, I would have tried that deal.
Yeah, that's a deal for sure, yeah.
Ricky, let's start with you because that was going to be my next question. Are there any players at Spurs that you are very surprised about that they're still here?
Yeah, Doherty, definitely. Joe Roden, I think, you know what, when Darren speaks, I'm sure he will elaborate on it, but Darren likes to analyze defenders and goalkeepers. Hartman, he likes to, and when he spoke to me about Roden, he kind of like put it into context for me where he could be a bit of a Dawson. He could be like a solid defender, but he just hasn't done it. And under the managers that we've had, nobody's really trusted him. Look at all the names that have just come in from Adrian.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Gee whiz.
Janssen, Nkudu, Dominguez. I liked Dominguez.
Yeah, I like Dominguez. Like that one.
Pedro Mendes as well. I liked Pedro Mendes. Postiga, wow, and G as well. Bloody hell. But yeah, I am quite surprised that Doherty is still here as my number one.
Darren Altman, what about you? Players that you're surprised that are still here?
I think Doherty is the one.
I want to see. I want to see. It's all right. I think he thought he was white and Jewish for a sec. That fucking.
Muzzle top, it's yours.
He said he's saving up to be Jewish. Yeah, Doherty, obviously. Do you know what? The jury's still out on Royale for me, and I know I'll duck and sort of take your abuse, but I know he needs to bed in, and
I'm not feeling him either.
I just don't know what he brings to the party. I'm afraid I just don't know what he brings to the party. When we were at and maybe this isn't the best example, Chris, but when we were at the bridge watching Chelsea, that first leg, he just looked so out of his depth. He looked like a lost sheep, bless him. And hopefully, maybe Conte will mold him and turn him into something. But for the moment, for me, the jury's out. I don't know what he brings to the party. Window closed. There you go.
Window closed. That means 2 signings in and 7 players out.
Wow.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
That's good business.
Good business.
Let it rain, boys. Let it rain.
let's just finish. Darren Hart, let's come to you. Players that are still here that you're surprised about. Would you agree with those two?
Yeah, Doherty is the one that I really thought we was going to ship out. And as Ricky elaborated on with Rodon, I think there's a player in there, and I'm glad he's still around because I think a back 3 works for him. And I just want to see if they give him a chance to play because he's someone who I think will live and die for that shirt. If you put him on the pitch, he's willing to get his face kicked in to win the ball. And I like players like that. I like my defenders ugly.
Okay, go on.
Leo, go on.
No, I didn't know it was my turn, so I didn't want to say nothing. No, I mean, to be honest, I'm not surprised no defenders left because we're really short there in defense. So I can understand why we didn't sell in. No talk of selling players like Sanchez, who was probably one of the first players on my list. I think he might go in the summer, but no, I mean, probably like Darren says, probably just Doherty. Going back to Rodon though, I think Spurs. I think we've regressed to the point now where we feel like Rodon could be a first team player. I'm being serious.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking
I agree with you, man. I agree with you.
We should be Rodon should not even be sniffing the subs bench for if we're looking to be going for top 4. If we're a top 4 side, Rodon should not even be on the bench. But the fact that we're talking about him like he should give him thing, it just shows that we're not really a top side like we should think we are. If that makes sense.
No, but I think the realistic that transfer was one that Mourinho didn't want at the time, and we got him in. But also, if you look at our back line right now, he doesn't even make the bench because there are a number of centre halves that are preferred in front of him, and the formation doesn't work for him either. So,
but I don't find him comfortable on the ball. Really, like
he's not the ball playing centre half. That's the thing. He's not that one of the 3. So it's decided if we're going to develop that or we have to ship him out. We've got to see what we're doing.
But we need players like that, especially in defence. Look at Liverpool's defence, and they've got young players, and
we've got Romero back now to slot into the centre back role. Also, I know you said Sanchez, bro, and Sanchez has got a lot of stick, and fairly he's got a lot of stick.
Absolutely,
because he has been Bambi on ice for a while, and I wouldn't play him on the left of a 3 either, but he has been pretty solid in a couple of games, bro, under Conte. He has been there. 1 minute. He has been there doing last-minute slide tackles and blocks, and he has been up for it. He's covered Dyer. Do you know what I mean? Like, you got to remember the center of defense as well ain't his position. The best position for him is the right of the defense in a back 3. And while Dyer's been out, he's slotted into the middle. And what I see is effort and determination. And I see him getting upset when somebody else doesn't do their job as well, which says to me that his head is there to try and do the best that he can do for Tottenham.
I agree with you on that side, but he technically doesn't have the ability.
It's not good enough.
You can have all the want you want. You can have all the determination you want. If you're dead, you're dead.
Not good enough.
You say ability, but he has all the attributes, bro, to be a top defender. It's just that he hasn't reached that level yet with us. And there's been times under other managers that he has regressed. And I agree with that. But the attributes, he's got pace, he's got power, he's a defender, he's tall, he's strong.
I get it, but he doesn't have this. But he doesn't have this.
He can score on a on a corner or something like that. And when you say he hasn't got the mentality, but we now have a manager that works on elite mentality, and he has had to rely on Sanchez the last couple of months while Romero has been out. So if anyone's gonna know, Conte's gonna know. Now he's probably gonna drop out for Romero right now, so it becomes Davies, Dyer, Romero. So Sanchez will come out, but as an option and as another player instead of Rodon or Tanganga, we've got Sanchez there that has been putting in effort and he's put in a couple of nice performances.
I get it, but I think you're forgetting when Sanchez literally made the same mistakes that cost us the same goals. What game was that? Where
Agreed.
Right, and
I know what you're saying.
So things like that shows me that you don't have the footballing. You did those were basic.
But both
things
of those
you couldn't
times,
even do.
Leo. Both of those times he was playing left centre back.
It doesn't
And
matter, but these are basic things for footballer.
It does matter. It does. When it comes down to Sanchez, it does matter because he's Bambi on. He can be Bambi on irons at right centre back.
Why are we trying to
at left centre back? At left
These are
centre
basic
back,
mistakes.
he can't do it.
But
No,
these are
but what I'm
basic
saying is-
mistakes.
You say basic, but he can't do it with on the left side because he becomes so confused as a left centre back.
But then that's not good enough.
No, but
Do you know what, though, Leo? Is the fact that I've asked you all. I know Richard hasn't had his say yet. We'll do that in a second. But I've asked you all the players that you'd be disappointed, that haven't gone out the door. No one has mentioned Harry Winks. No one's mentioned Eric Dyer. No one's mentioned Davinson Sanchez. So Conte has improved these players. Ben Davies is another one. If we'd done this show a couple of months ago, I think all of these names would have been there.
Absolutely, but when we've got a window, the summer. And let's say we go through the window or summer window and we still have that back line, are you going to tell me we're going to be happy? Or do you think that we can do better? Exactly.
I think it's a lot of work to do in a January transfer window. That's why me personally, I'm expecting a lot of work to be done in the summer, transforming the whole squad. I think that and by the way, Darren, has the Dele Alli deal gone through officially via the Tottenham Hotspur website and Twitter? Has that happened yet?
Tottenham Hotspur haven't said anything yet. Hold on one second. Let me just do hold on one
so we're still waiting on the confirmation of Dele Alli going out the door.
The last tweet from Spurs was signed, sealed, delivered. Kulusevski.
I think they might be waiting on that official confirmation once Dele Alli's finished on TikTok. But
he's just uploading something, I'm sure.
Apparently, he's halfway through a game of World of Warcraft now. So
we can all join and play alongside.
Yeah.
Rich, let's bring you in. If you can answer that question as well. Any players that you're disappointed that have not gone out the door apart from Matt Doherty?
No, I think everybody said what I was going to say. To be honest, I think Ryan Sessegnon really does worry me. To be honest,
Forgot about him.
He's and both feet. He's not comfortable. Both feet, terrible. I think Conte needs to work really hard with this young kid. Was it 30 million we paid for him? 30 million. Wow. When he was at Fulham, he showed potential. He showed that drive. He had a goal in him. Yeah, I'm not seeing that at the moment. I'm seeing that more from Reguilon, to be honest. And he's obviously our first choice on that left-hand side. But Sessegnon's a real worry. I think Conte will look at him the last couple of games of the season, and then maybe that's another opportunity to get rid of somebody. Again, a young player, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Doherty, Royale, and Rodon are the four players that really need to be upskilled. Really, if we're looking for top four, are they going to be with us next year? And is Conte going to be happy? I don't think so. I don't think they're anywhere near. I think Dyer's been a big improvement under Conte. He's shown real leadership. What my one worry with Dyer is when he's on the ball and looking for those forward passes, he thinks he's Toby, and he's not got the ability that Toby had with those long balls at all. So I think he needs to rein that in a little bit, and hopefully that's the case after the transfer window closes.
Aubameyang's done. He's gone to Barcelona, just to let you know.
Shame. It's a shame, isn't it?
A
shame.
Any news on Ousmane Dembele?
It's not happening, Ricky. It's not happening.
No,
not for us, but I'm just saying anywhere.
No.
Staying at Barca, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Darren Altman, let's come to you. A comment on screen here for you from Roy Price. Outstanding show tonight, guys. Thank you. Tell Mr. Altman Royston will go to his room now.
So he should be. He's been an incredibly naughty boy.
I don't know what to say about that. Leo, let's start this question with you. Can Tottenham Hotspur finish top 4 with the squad that we have? Are you confident?
Yeah, I'm more so confident, especially now we got these 2 players in. I think it's 2 players that Conte players. I believe in Conte, especially the work that he's done with the players that he had, the fact that we went 9 games unbeaten with the players that we had. I believe in Conte. I believe in his tactics. I believe that what the addition we have is going to help us get to top 4, especially with Man United playing where they are. Chelsea kind of faltering a bit now. I hope the win against us hasn't perked them up. But yeah, we're definitely in a shout for top 4, especially with the games that we got in hand. So yeah, I believe in Conte. I believe in what he's doing. Paratici, Levy in. Oh God, I'm going to get hate now.
You said it.
Wow.
Levy in. Yeah, I support Levy. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I do believe we'll get top 4.
Really?
Rich, are you confident for top 4?
Yeah, I do.
So my big worry, and this is a big worry about the congestion of fixtures. If we get one of those key players have a long-term injury, Kane, Sonny, is that going to leave us short? I still think we're short of a couple of players, and also at the back as well. I'm not confident of top 4. I think we've got a good chance, and I really believe in Conte. I think the summer, if we don't back Conte in the summer, it needs to be the board need to kind of the board needs to change. It needs to be big though. It needs to be big players.
What's the definition of backing Conte in the summer, Rich?
So the players he wants, the serial winners, and then get rid of the players that I talked about maybe, and have players that he believes, the big player. But the Delits of this world that kind of come in and transform the playing ability. We still need that player behind Kane that can really give him the bullets to be able to stay and fulfill his dream of winning something at Spurs. I know, Chris, you're a big fan of winning trophies, and we've won hardly any, and we need to do that. Trophies is what we need. FA Cup we're still in. Obviously Brighton next game, and come on, boys, this summer, make it happen. Back Conte.
Problems for Fabio Carvalho deal. Medical was completed before the deadline, but paperwork and contracts not. So deal is in real danger between Liverpool and Fulham.
No, it's going to happen.
Is there any news on the Dele Alli situation?
No, nothing. No. And just to confirm, you keeping on asking me isn't going to make it happen quickly. Okay.
Was that a yes or a no, Darren?
Hello, breaking news, Chris. We go live to Goodison Park. No, it's no news.
No news. Ricky, can we get top 4?
Oh, yeah, I think we can. We've got the games in hand. I think the biggest signing over the summer and this winter window is Antonio Conte. Do you know what I mean? And we've got 2 players in that know him, that know the way he works, that will run through, like I say, brick walls and into the ground for him, and will know the system that he likes to play as well. So I think it's all there for us. I don't think any Tottenham fan would have said that we would have gone unbeaten for 9 games before the Chelsea game. But, and I think that with these 2 players, I think we can go on another run. We've got a kind of condensed, unified unit now that are all on the same page with Antonio Conte. So I think we can definitely go for it, and we can definitely push anybody else that's around us and above us to get into that top 4. So I truly believe that, yes, Conte will do it for us. He'll get into the top 4. And then the summer is going to be, it's going to be a shopping spree, bro. It's going to be a shopping spree. We're going to spend some serious money on some serious players, and we will go for the league next season.
If we get top 4 this season, we're definitely challenging for championship, because top 4 means better quality players in the summer that we sign. And
agreed.
It's Conte, and Conte likes to win, so he's going to go all out, and there's going to be more pressure on Levy to pull out his bank book and do what needs to be done. If we get top 4, just understand Spurs are going to go hard, extra hard this summer, and then next season we're challenging for the thing.
Bro, I don't know whether you just saw that, but Football Freak, who's in India, said it's 4:44 a.m. and he's still watching, and he says it's amazing content. That's major. Big up to Football Freak.
He did say he's a football freak.
All the Indian Spurs, you know what I mean? Big up yourselves. Wow.
Starts working in 45 minutes.
Wow.
For all of the viewers, please let us know in the world where you're watching from, and I'll put as many comments on the screen as possible. Darren Altman, let's come to you. Can Tottenham Hotspur finish in the top 4? Are you confident?
Games in hand. Let's believe. And more importantly,
glory, Tottenham.
We dare to dream.
You feeling confident then, Darren? Yeah.
Well, games in hand. It's all about the games in hand. If we can win them and get on a march, then who knows? Let's dare to dream. Let's dare to dream, Chris.
Wow.
And as has been said, if we get in that top 4, God, the impetus for people to join us in the summer window, who knows what that may lead to?
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's Conte, so it's a wrap.
Darren, how are you feeling about this top 4 push?
Injuries have to be kind to us. If they are, definitely we can make top 4.
Wow.
I might even push to say top 3.
Boy.
Get Team Leo.
Screenshot that, Ricky.
Boy.
Top 3, I'm saying.
Mate.
Chris Global Cowlin. Look at this. My God.
Look at this.
Wow.
This is amazing. Australia, Texas.
Yeah.
We've got someone from the moon watching.
Miami, Florida. Gibraltar. Taylor from Gibraltar.
Venom's watching with down Geldem, isn't he? Yeah.
Wilson Pesce from Nairobi, Kenya. Love that.
That's my hometown. Nairobi,
Kenya.
RN
from Watford. Yes, bruv.
Jumbo. Every time.
Leo, let's start with you on this one. Stephen Bergwijn. Of course, he had that fantastic night at Leicester. Are you surprised that he's still here?
No, I'm not surprised that he's still here. I mean, I like Stephen Bergwijn. I feel like he's a sort of player that needs a run of games. He's not really had that with Spurs. He's got pace. He's got ability. I just think that he just needs more games, more chance to show what he can do. And especially the game against Leicester definitely helped his argument for staying. Because that, a lot of people are going to class that as one of Tottenham's best ever games, period. And he was contributed to that. So I think that definitely helped him. And that also showed that he wanted to stay. It also showed Conte that he's here to play for him. And I think Conte liked that. But I'm happy that he's staying personally. Yeah. I'm glad.
What about you, Rich?
Yeah, he's a finisher, isn't he? Bergwijn's a finisher. Showed that obviously in his debut against Man City. Obviously against Leicester as well. Whereabouts is he in your bathroom? Yeah, that's it. He's passing you the toilet bowl.
I've been waiting for somebody. to pass me the damn toilet.
I'll pop it round.
Mate, I bet it stinks in there now, right?
Ricky, you actually need to go back and look at some of these comments that I haven't put on screen.
Really?
You know what I was just thinking?
I'll check it out later.
Hold on, where is it? Where is the screen? Hold on, let me just see.
Let's keep it moving.
Go ahead. Maybe hold on. Chris, maybe you should hand me toilet paper And I hand it over
you know,
and he hands it down.
We normally have these sorts of moments when Ramon Vega's on. I expected quite a serious show tonight.
What's going on?
Oh, Ricky's gone.
He's flushing. He's flushing now.
Darren Altman, is there any news on Dele Alli yet?
No, nothing yet. Hold on one sec. Oh, my friend Ritz, who's a Liverpool fan, said it didn't happen. Hopefully in the summer window. So that's Carvalho.
What didn't happen?
Carvalho.
Yeah.
Oh, it's collapsed. There you go. Medical done in Liverpool, but paperwork were not fully signed before the deadline. Clubs have full agreement, but they know they were in a race against time. So hopefully finding a solution in the summer. But no, nothing.
Dele Alli?
No. This is Fabinho. Sorry, Carvalho. Sorry, Fabio Carvalho. That's collapsed, and hopefully in the summer they were saying. But no, nothing on Dele. Nothing on Dele.
Okay, last question for you all. Darren Hart, let's start with you. How would you rate this window out of 10?
8. 8 out of 10.
Wow.
Solid out. So that means the ethos in the squad is a lot better, and we're starting to show intent. 8 out of 10.
I'm going to go with a 7. Leo, what are you going for?
Yeah, I was going to go with a 7, purely because of what Darren said. More so the players that have gone out. I think a lot of people think that it's all about who you sign, but I think there's great power in who leaves as well. So I would say 7. Yeah.
Rich?
Yeah, mate. If you're talking about players in, I probably would have gone for like a 6, really. But yeah, I think for the development of the squad and the team, the cohesion on the bench and on the actual pitch itself, 7, definitely. And it shows a bright future, but it also shows intent. If you're not putting the effort in, if you're not putting the work in on and off the pitch, if your attitude's not right, then we're going to actually find you another team. It's a great attitude to have.
Yeah.
What about you, Ricky?
I'm going to go with 7.5, bro. I'm going to go 7.5 for the transfer window. Like Darren said, for those that have left, as well as 2 players that have come in that want to work for Conte, Tottenham, and the way that we want to work, I think it's a 7.5 for me. And I think it creates space for the summer. So let's keep it moving. Come on, you Spurs. Big up Walthamstow.
Darren Altman, how would you rate this window out of 10?
Yeah, I mean, if signings in, I would say 6 because let's not twist. We haven't got in the positions that we wanted. But I mean, irrespective of moving players on and getting the money in, which is really important, I would say a 7. And don't forget, it's his first window, and this is his first foray into molding his team. He don't forget, since he's been at the club, he's not working with his team. He's been saying, well, let's make of this what you will. So this is the first step to having Conte's Tottenham. And let's get this done. Let's see the season out. Let's go for top 4. And in the summer, then we'll see what Conte's Tottenham will look like.
Yes.
Darren Hart, let's come to you. Do you think Antonio Conte's happy with the window? Yeah. That's the most important question.
Yeah, I do. If I've got to be asked, then I've got to answer yes, because he's got rid of the people he didn't want in that team. Most of them have been kicked out on his say-so, and he's got 2 in that he wants, and it's shown him that the board are listening to him, and there must be a conversation that's really taken place, going, the money will be available in the summer, we'll complete the mission then. But you can see we've started to do what you want us to do. Players have gone out that you didn't want, we'll get the ones in when we can.
Do you guys know the Reto Ziegler story about him at Juventus? So Reto Ziegler got bought for, I can't remember, for a big fee, I think it was. Obviously, he used to play for Tottenham, but Conte was there. He turned up to training, and basically he was sulking a bit. And he said to Conte, like, why am I playing? You just signed me, sort of thing. And he was like, you see that attitude? With that attitude, you'll never play for me again. And he was like, well, I'll go speak to the chairman or whatever. And he was like, go speak to whoever you want to speak to, but you will never play for me again. And Reto Ziegler never played under Antonio Conte. So we can't stress enough how important it is for the players that he doesn't want to be there, that they're gone. So big up, Dal. Massive point, bro.
Wow.
Are we gonna give any props to Levy in this thing, or is this
not yet?
Not yet. No.
This
Okay.
is Paratici where should be praising. Levy ain't done nothing yet.
But Levy did bring Paratici in, though.
He ain't got no praise yet. Don't give a man too much praise.
Okay.
I know you said Levy and you're trying to back your statement. Behave yourself.
Hot man in the house.
Levy, I tried, brother. I tried, but they're not having it. I'm trying here for you, bro.
Leo,
probably next week. All right, brother.
Leo, do you think that Antonio Conte is happy with this window?
I wouldn't say happy because it's a serial win. I'll say he's content. I'll use that word. I wouldn't say happy because somebody that wants to win, he knows he wants to do more, and they're never satisfied. But I believe he understands the situation. We are in January. He knows that there's not much we can do. So I believe he's content. I believe he's going to be like, okay, well, fine. So content is the word, I would say.
Mm.
Darren, dare I ask again, anything on Dele Alli?
No,
it just
nothing.
seems strange that there's no official announcement past 11 o'clock.
Well, no, I think they said that the deal's done. No, and there's nothing. No, nothing.
Is there no official announcement from Everton either?
Oh, no, hold on one sec. Hold on one sec. Hold on, let me just type Everton.
Guys, what do you think about Ramsey going to Rangers?
Yeah.
Good luck to him.
That's
As
a
long as he
strange
didn't
one,
come to
isn't it?
Tottenham, crack on.
That's a
Do what you
strange
gotta
one,
do.
isn't it?
So, okay, so 8 hours ago, Chris, Fabrizio Romano said, Dele Alli to Everton, done deal, and here we go. Full agreement reached with Tottenham, permanent move in the next few hours. It's done. That was 8 hours ago.
I think he's gone. He is gone. Because, they said sometimes things might not be shown on before 10 o'clock, but faxes are still going through, and I think they allow it till 8 a.m. or something. Yeah, I think they have to fax it in, apparently.
Okay, yeah, and then they get their pages out, and they go to the call box, and yeah.
I would just rather know that Dele Alli's either done or not done before we go offline. So
you really want him out, Chris? I feel like you just want him out.
I don't want him out.
Is he still there?
I'm a big fan of Dele Alli, and I feel a little bit gutted that it's a permanent deal. I would have rather it be a loan deal of him going out, playing very well, and then coming back. That's my preferred option.
To what end? To wander around the middle of the field, flicking his dreadlocks? I don't understand what.
Well, that's why I said, Darren, that is it about being ruthless? Because if it is about ruthless attitude, I do like that. So we do need to be do need to stop being sentimental about players, and perhaps I'm a little bit sentimental about Dele.
Yeah.
Look at how we ruined, like when we spoke about Sanchez and players like that. That is the kind of ruthlessness we've got to have right the way through our team now. We can't be sentimental and go, he once was good. He hasn't done it for a number of years now. So we've got to go, it ain't coming back, and move on. We have to. We can't be sentimental. That will stop us from progressing. That's what we do.
I absolutely agree with Darren, because he's been literally, it's his disrespect to what he's done, not only to Mourinho, Conte, Nuno, but to the Spurs fans and himself, because he's had so many chances to do it and he's not done it. So
I think, Chris, I think you need a hug.
Probably.
Come here. Come on.
I'll tell you what, I'm glad this January transfer window's over, put it that way. I really am.
Listen, Chris, you know what, bro? You've done so much hard work during this transfer window. Oh my gosh. Every day with a different journalist. You've done, Fabrizio Romano, like the amount of work that you and all of the boys, because I know they're our friends of the show, Last Word on Spurs as well. You, Ricky Sachs, all the Last Word on Spurs team, big up to yourselves, because I love watching yourself and I love watching Last Word on Spurs, because you get in there. It's better than Sky Sports, left, right and centre, 100%. Do you know what I mean? Like, you give us everything. You give us the depth. You give us the knowledge. You try and do the best that you can do. I don't know when yourself or Ricky Sachs sleeps, but I appreciate everything that you guys have done. And if all the watchers and listeners appreciate what he's done, let's do a Leo and hit the like and hit the subscribe, because that's an easy way to say thank you for all of the hard work that yourself has done, my friend. So big up yourself. I've loved every show that you've put out, Chris. Big up yourself, bro.
Thank you, Ricky. Thank you.
Yeah, man. So yeah, like Ricky, man, you smashed it there, man. So if we can get those likes up for Chris, because it's absolutely right. Because sometimes I wake up and I'm like, no, is that another show that Chris is doing right now? It's like, this what's wrong with this guy? Is he sick of it? Like, what's wrong with him? But no, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And like Ricky said, man, if everyone watching now can just give a thumbs up, a like, or a subscription, let's get Ricky to 65K as ASAP.
Chris.
So what I say?
Chris to 65K.
That's what I said.
You said Ricky, but it's fine. It's okay. It's
okay. VAR. We'll watch it back.
VAR it, Dow. Fuck. Come on, hot man. VAR.
Well, it is us, Rick. We're a team. We're a team here.
It's true.
Even though you think that we've got 12 players on the pitch and you think we're playing Watford at home and all of that, you know. Just while we're waiting for the news from Darren Altman on Dele Alli, let's talk a little bit about.
What's this? Oh, sorry.
What's that?
In the summer, Antonio Conte will have 1 year left on his contract. Are any of you worried about that? Do you think he will renew a contract?
Yeah.
I heard that's his average is 18 months. I heard most managers, well, some managers have 18 months contract. I think he did it with Chelsea, isn't it? It was 18 months. So
listen,
I just think that's what he does.
Either which way with Conte, we're in a good position. If he's only with us for next season, he's going to go all out to make that the best season, not only for himself, but for us too. Do you know what I mean? So he's going to go all out at every single competition. But what gives me encouragement is that he has spoken about the future so many times. He has said that not all of our problems are going to be solved in a January transfer window, that we need more. So him and Paratici, they're looking forward. They're looking to the future. And the fact that we've given him 2 players that he can now use as tools for what he wants to do from now until the end of the season, I think is going to be encouraging. And then I think it depends about that summer business. If we can get in the real and we can do some proper business during the summer, of course he's going to be encouraged, enthused, energetic to kind of put his team forward, bro. It's going to be massive for Conte if he can win with Tottenham, because that says to the world that it's not just the big teams that he can win with, but he can win with a team that was sinking and resurrect them and then push them on to champions and winners, bro. So he's about it. Don't worry about him, bro. He's good. He's staying with us for the time being, at least. But that summer is going to be really important for him and what happens with Tottenham going forward.
So just a quick thing. I realized the reason why people will sign an 18-month contract is because they know when it comes to renewing, they're in a better position to negotiate a higher fee. So sometimes you may think, oh, he wants to leave, but it's more a business thing to know that after 6 months I can negotiate and get 10 times my money.
But also there's an option there for Spurs as well. There's an option there of an extra year after those 18 months as well, Leo. So it's not just, yes, you're absolutely right in a business sense that he can negotiate better wages or like say, whatever he wants and we can sign him up. But there's also an option there for the club to be like, come Christmas next year, be like, Antonio, we want to extend. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's perfect for both parties. Him having an 18-month contract puts the pressure on Levy and the club to deliver. Do you know what I mean? For him, to show him that we're serious, to show him that we're not clowns no more, to show him that we're about this. We want to win. We don't just want to be in the league. We want to win. So if all of those things happen, it's only going to be positive for Tottenham, bro. So don't worry about the 18-month whatsoever. I wouldn't stress about it at all.
Richard, are you worried about Conte's term of contract?
Well, we just don't want a team like Man United stealing him, do we? That's the only problem. Obviously, we stepped in front of the queue, obviously, for Conte originally. I think we should have had him straight after Pochettino, after Mourinho, and it just didn't happen that way. Getting Conte in was obviously the starting phase of obviously the recruitment drive. starting to get some of these players out that clearly were just deadwood or not to the Tottenham standard or to Conte's standard of player that he can actually work with. And then obviously working with the board to get the players that he wants in. And like Ricky was saying, I think the summer's going to be a big year, big window, because if not, then Conte's going to want to see the intent from the board. And without that intent, then Conte might have a decision to make on his hands. I think it's very smart what he's doing, because it means that he's got power into what he can actually do with the team as well. So if Levy's not actually putting his hand in his pocket, then Conte more than likely will look at his options and then move sideways or move to a team that's challenging for the championship.
And the other thing is that if, God forbid, if he does go, I mean, God forbid, like, who the bloody hell do we get? You know, like...
Lampard.
Oh, do me a favour, bruv. Come on.
You know, I mean, it would be, like I said at the beginning, it would be the biggest balls up. You know, he's at the top of his, you know, apart from Pep and Klopp, you know, who else is there in world football with his pedigree and his respect? You know, I mean, yes, you can say names like Chris Potter and matey boy at Bournemouth, what's his name?
Graham Potter, you mean?
Sorry, Graham Potter, and I'm thinking of Chris Potter. I'm thinking of Phoenix Knights. No, don't do that. Oh God, what's his name? He used to be at Bournemouth. Eddie Howe, you know, and all these people. It's like, you know, like we've got the top of the tree here. Like, I'm that's my only concern. Like, Levy better not balls this up for us, because, you know, please God, he should stay with us for a few years now and progress us, you know.
Darren Hart, let's come to you on this question on screen from Nigel about Fabio Paratici. Now, in the last couple of days, of course, before we'd done any business, Fabio was getting a lot of stick on Twitter in particular, stating that he hasn't done a lot. Nigel writes now, Fabio Paratici foul. Brian Hill on loan to Spain, no benefit there. Galini gone at the end of the season. Cameron Carter-Vickers to Celtic, never got done. What real success has he had? How do you feel about a director of football at Spurs?
You know what? I've got a lot of time for him right now, because he's had a very small window of opportunity to work his magic. Also, he has one of the most difficult chairmen in the world to try and work with in Levy. And what he's already started
Brian
to do...
Potter.
what he's already started to do, which I think Nigel may need to look at in terms of the deals he's done. We've done deals in a way that we've never done deals before. I always start with the Aurier deal. Aurier was a player that was a problem at Spurs. We had the whole Sissoko and Ndombele Aurier problem. We couldn't find Aurier a club. Financially, he said, get rid of him. Just release him. That's the only thing we can do. I can't get him a move. Just get him off the books. And Levy sanctioned it. Paratici works in a very different way. He gets Conte as well. And I believe that taking Levy away from the football, just making him sign things over, gives Spurs a fighting chance. I think Paratici is a great appointment. We haven't seen him work his complete magic yet. I think the summer, you'll see the in of his magic, but what we have seen is the out of his magic. Getting Ndombele back to Lyon is a masterstroke. Like, let's look at that deal. And what they're willing to pay us back, if it goes long-term, that's a great deal. Let's talk about Dele Alli. We bought him for 5 million. If this goes through after 20 games, that's 10 million. That's money back and interest with a deal that could potentially be 40 million. Dele Alli, 40 million right now. Come on. Let's look at what he's setting up. Like, give the man due. If you want to talk about Carter-Vickers, why are we having a conversation about him? He's a journeyman. Right now, he should not be how we're assessing our director of football. Let's assess that first team and see what he's doing with it now. And he's doing business. I'm happy with him.
Sure.
Is there any news on Dele Alli yet?
I said it just right.
Forget what you said, Darren. Forget about that. We don't care. What's the latest on that?
Also,
surely there must be something, Darren. There must be something.
Oh God, he's joined Scunthorpe. There you go. You happy?
For 70 mil.
He's back.
The ties come off.
Harty, he also got a mil for Joe Hart, who we got on a free. Do you know what I mean? So he's working within the parameters. Do you know what I mean? But we've got a football man in a football position, and the more Levy is withdrawn from those football decisions, the happier I am. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, very good point.
And
Leo, let's start with you. How are you feeling about the Brighton game in the FA Cup on Saturday? Because, of course, in the last 48 hours, we've heard that Antonio Conte has given the Tottenham Hotspur squad a double training session, having given them the week off before.
It's a win.
Yes.
It's a win. It's a win. We're at home. I believe we're going to win the Brighton game. I'll say it's either going to be three. We're definitely going to score 3 goals for sure. Mark my words. 3 goals that we're going to score. It's going to be 3-0 or 3-1, definitely. I think he's had let them have 6 days off because he knows he's going to come back today, or was it yesterday, and punish them to make sure that their head's right, so we can go there. We've got 2 home games back to back. Conte is a serial winner. He doesn't like to lose. He's coming off the back of a Chelsea loss, which was an embarrassment because we never turned up. Chelsea's got our number, so he's going to want to bounce back. He's going to want the players to, especially now, prove that they're going to want to play to the end of the season. So definite win. I'm confident about it. I'm saying 3-0, 3-1, maybe, and we're going to win that game and the next game.
Can I just ask, what's the deal with our 2 new signings? Can they play straight away in the cup? What happens there?
Bentancur is actually on international duty at the moment, playing on Tuesday. So fingers crossed, there's no injuries there. But yes, it is subject to international clearance. So we're waiting on confirmation of that one, Darren.
Okay, cool.
Rich, let's come to you. How are you feeling about this Brighton game? Because, of course, dare I say it, 1991 was the last time we won the FA Cup.
Have I heard you say that before? I think I might.
Yeah.
I think I might have heard you say that a couple of times before. It's a great opportunity. Like Leo said, Chelsea games are embarrassment. Like, it's terrible, terrible watch. I remember talking before the Chelsea game, and we had lots of optimism around going into that game. And yeah, people just didn't turn up. Actually, Harry Kane put in a good shift. You know what I mean? But he was playing as like a defensive midfielder half the time. You know what I mean? He was having to come so deep. He was getting no service at all. I'd like to think that Brighton game will be an opportunity to raise that self-esteem, raise the expectations of the fans, and then obviously show the fans and the rest of the team what we're expecting for that. Do you know my only problem is with the Brighton game is if we go into the first half and it's flat, because like you say, they've had a bit of time off. I'd like to see high press, high energy, and a 3-0. Wow, I'd love that. I'd love a 3-0. I think I'm going to the game, actually. I think I'm there. So if I'm there, normally Spurs lose, so maybe we might lose 3-1. No, 3-0, I'll take that.
Ricky, just to remind you, it's a home game on Saturday. What are your thoughts?
Not going to Brighton then.
Well,
I'll see you on the pitch.
I know I have to find my way home at least. Do you know what I mean? But you got to remember, Romero's back, ready to go. He's been in training, had a bit of a rest as well, so he's rested and recovered. So he's back. We've got Sonny back by the time we play this game. So I'm with Leo right now, man. I'm like a 2-0, 3-0 win for us. And you know, and I will admit that I never and will never, regardless of how bad we're playing or how bad it is, back us to lose. So I can't do it. It's default settings. We'll never back us to lose. So again, with everything, with all of the positive momentum with Tottenham right now, with these 2 players hopefully coming off the bench to kind of introduce themselves to the Spurs crowd and the Spurs first team, I see a 3-0. Who? Leo, bruv, are you tweet? What is wrong with you?
No,
bruv,
I did that for you, bruv. It wasn't for you.
Is this you, blood? Is this you, blood?
It's Chris.
You see,
It's Chris is
bruv,
doing this.
honestly, bruv. Seriously, I thought we were from
Chris,
like a
no,
different
we
place,
are, brother.
bruv,
Come
like,
on,
you know
come
what I
on,
mean?
Ricky.
Like,
Come on, man. We're boys. We're boys.
Honestly, bruv, like don't.
Chris
seriously.
texted me. Chris told me
It's
to
a
do
serious
it.
thing, blood.
Chris told me to do it. Chris told me, you know what the love we have, bro. Come on now.
Dry your eyes, mate.
Darren Orban, let's come to you. The Brighton game. Are you feeling confident?
Oh, 3-0, 3-1. There you go. What a window this has been. Come on, what a time to be alive, Chris. What a time to be alive.
Are you being sarcastic there? I
No,
don't know.
not at all. No. You've buoyed me up. This is great. I wasn't feeling that optimistic about things.
Yeah, definitely 3 goals, 100%.
Yeah, of course. This is great. Wonderful. Let's do this every night.
Is there any news on Dele Alli yet?
Who needs crackers when you got this lot? Wonderful.
Darren, any news on Dele?
I can't find him. I've been on TikTok. Can't find him.
He's live
Is he on
streaming
TikTok?
on live TikTok. He's doing.
Seriously, there must be something.
It's not. I mean, what do you want? I'll sing you a song if you want. Do you want me to
Make something
freestyle?
up.
Yeah. I think something about. Hold on. There's a lovely tweet. He said something about them gal them or I'm not sure.
Darren Hart, how are you feeling about the Brighton game?
I'm confident. I'm very happy about it being coming up very soon. 2 home games. I think we'll win that comfortably. Comfortable win.
Score?
Okay.
I'm gonna go 2-0.
Last question for you all. I was hoping to get some Dele Alli news, but I don't know whether it's going to happen or not.
It's not going to happen.
Leo, let's start with you. Where do you think Tottenham will finish in the Premier League at the end of the season?
I've said it. I'm going to say top 4. Might push to third place. I'm even going there. And I know Richard is doing like this. But,
5th for me.
But yeah. The reason why I'm saying that is because one, we have.
But you've been drinking tonight, or what?
No, that's probably why I have not been drinking. So maybe that's the problem. But I would say top 4. But I won't be surprised if we get top 3. That's where I'm going. I'm pushing the boat out. And usually, I told you, Chris, I'm an optimistic guy. I told you this before. I'm a nice guy here. And past several episodes, I've been the guy that's been coming with the negativity. But based on what I've seen, the energy around the Spurs, and the fact that we went 9 games unbeaten, the fact that we got Conte, the fact that we got these 2 players in, the fact that we got games in hand, top 3.
Rich, what are you thinking?
5th. That's it straight away. Straight 5th, man. I think, Spurs in it. We have all these games in hand, and then we do what we did against Chelsea. I'd love a 4th or even a 3rd. Like Leo said, it's being an optimistic kind of guy. It's quite tough with Spurs, but I think it's all these injuries though. Like if we pick up an injuries out in these games in hand, it might come back to bite us. I think we've got a kind of a squad that's got 5 or 6 players that Conte really thinks actually these are my shoo-ins for the starting 11, and then making up with a couple of other players in that right wing back position as one. I'd love to think we could sneak into 4th, but I think we might be beaten by Man United.
It has to be, sorry to cut in. Let me tell you why it has to be top 4. That is what Conte wants. I reckon Conte would take top 4. Conte would take top 4 over a trophy because he knows. Man. Sorry?
You're a fantasist, man.
No, let me just say, because I think.
Do you know, Leo, if you watch this stream back, the amount of times where you've been answering questions, I've just been watching Richard shaking his head to some of your points.
Listen, Richard, I'm
Right.
usually what? Listen, you and I are the same. I agree with everything you said, and even when I'm saying this, half of me is saying, Leo, you're chatting shit. But I'm telling you right now, Conte is a winner. Conte knows that he has to get into the Champions League.
Mourinho was a winner. They came to Spurs.
Sorry?
Mourinho was a winner. They came to Spurs.
No, I know that, but Conte is a serious winner. And Conte is on top of his game right now. Conte wants to win at all costs, period. He knows that going into a summer, not Champions League, he's going to be deflated. He knows that was a really good.
We've got some breaking news. Dele Alli is at Anfield because he got directions from Ricky Norwood.
Would you stop, man? Would you stop? Oh,
So what was I saying?
Come on.
I'm going to quick. So no, I reckon definitely top four. That is what Conte is going for. Conte is going all out
For sure
to
he's
get
going for
top
that,
four.
yeah.
More
Sure
than
is.
cups, more than anything. He's going to put all his effort to making sure that Spurs get top four, because he knows that when we get top four, it's a wrap. We've seen what he's done with Juventus or Inter when he went there last time. They were seventh when he arrived. The following season, they won the thing. So we know what he's like when the window is open, he has a summer window. He worked with Parity. They know what to do when the summer comes and they're in Champions League. They know the players to get, and they're going to go all out to get top four, to get Champions League, to attract the players for us to attack the championship. So that's what I believe we're going for. So that's why I'm saying top four.
I'm feeling you, but I'm not believing you. Your face is saying, look. Yeah.
My face is truth. Yeah, I
man,
probably am
that's what I'm
chatting shit, but I believe I'm. That's where he's a winner. He's not settling for anything else. He wants top four, and he's going to go all out to get it. Because think about it, a guy like that with his ego, he's looking at Pep. He's looking at what's his name, Tuchel. He's looking at all these managers doing big things, and he believes he's a better coach than all of them. Do you not think he wants to be competing at the same level as quick as possible to prove to them that he's the greatest manager? Sure. If he does great things with Spurs, no one can tell him anything, and he knows that. If
walk around like the Don, yeah?
Yeah, if he wins anything at Spurs, if he wins the title at Spurs, nobody...
Were you just about to see the Champions League?
Yeah, even that, think about it. If he wins Champions League or the league with Spurs, he knows that nobody can tie his... He knows you can't... Don't even look at me. Don't even...
It's a wonderful speech, and
it's a fairy tale.
It's a wonderful speech, but we haven't got the tools to do the job.
We have Conte. That's what we have. Conte. We have Paratici, and we have the summer window, and we have an opportunity to get top four. So we do have something.
Basically, are you saying that we should?
Always look on.
Do you know, I think I'm with Richard, though, because, of course we want to finish in the top four, but what worries me is, we get one or two injuries. The squad is very thin as it is. So one or two injuries could be, terrible for us. Ricky, how do you feel about it? Are you confident for top four?
Do you know what, boys? I am, because you know what, belief.
Yes,
is,
Ricky.
The belief is a massive energy. Do you know what I mean? And we have to have belief to move forward anyway. And he's instilled.
But we can all believe. It's about injuries, though, Rick. If we got one or two injuries,
but listen, but Chris, we haven't got no injuries right now. So you're looking to tomorrow, saying what if, and nothing's happened yet. So if and when we get an injury, let's see how Conte deals with it. When Harry Kane had injuries every season under Poch, what happened? Did we drop points, or did Son play centre forward and we end up like there's a stat out there where we've earned more points with him or some crazy like that? Yeah, you know what I mean? So now that we can put Sonny up front and have Bergie on the left, have Kulusevski on the right, have Lucas behind. Come on, bro. Like, it's all about belief. Let's deal with the problems when they arise. Of course, if injuries turn up, listen, all right. The starting 11 ain't going to be the starting 11. But let's deal with that when we get there. Right now, Harry Kane has found his form. He's been playing better. He's enjoying the Conte era. He's ready for the business end of the season. We've got Sonny up there that is coming back. He's had a little piece of a rest. He's ready to start firing. We've got Romero ready to start firing. We've got Bentancur who can deal with the midfield, ready to start firing. We've got Kulusevski ready to show the league what he's about. We're all right.
Exactly.
We're going to show everybody what this Conte Spurs is about.
We've got Lloris as well.
Don't worry about yesterday. Worry about tomorrow, because you know what? It's the Conte era, and every day is a progression for us. Let's keep it moving. Let's enjoy the good days, because you know what? We get so bogged down by the bad, and there's been so much bad. So let's enjoy what's good. Let's get this energy moving, and let's do the damn thing. Let's go for it. Come on,
Come on, man. Come on, son. Say it, Ricky. Say it, brother. Say it. Yes. Say it, mate. Yes, come on. Listen, Chris. Usually you're the most optimistic person here, Chris, and you're telling me you agree with Richard. What's going on?
I'm just trying to put a bit of balance on it. There's no point in me sitting here saying we're going to do this, this, and this. I say every year we're going to win trophies. Look where that gets me.
Do you?
I'm just trying to have a little bit of balance, because I just think that if we get one or two injuries, we could struggle, and I think that may be
any other team.
Top four or not.
So can any other team. Say that for Liverpool. They can get injuries.
True,
so can
true.
Chelsea had a bad time. Man United. It's time for these. Man City even. They can lose 4 or 5 games. We don't know.
And
Leo, you've changed. Leo, you've really changed.
I told you, this is how I am normally, Chris. I told you brought me in and turned me into this sad song.
And don't forget, we haven't seen Romero play in months, so that's almost like 3 new signings.
That's a new signing.
Like we got a new centre back, isn't it? So
Come on, Ricky.
Let's pop that champagne.
Darren,
Ricky, what are we gonna do? Ricky, what are we gonna do if we do get top 4? What forfeit do these guys have to do? We have to think of something.
Let's think about it instead of doing it on impromptu. Let's think about it and make sure if it doesn't hit, then we'll get Richard and Chris to do something crazy, bro. We'll do it. We'll get it done.
We'll get it, man.
I'll text you, bro. I'll text you.
Yeah. Richard will get a Jose Mourinho tattoo or something.
Or Dele Alli tattoo. Someone needs to get a Dele Alli tattoo.
Well, that brings me on. Darren Ortman, any news on Dele Alli?
Hold on. Breaking news.
Oh my gosh! Come on.
Ricky!
Oh my
God!
God.
Oh, get my pub!
No, Darren.
Nothing as yet. Sorry, Chris. Nothing as yet.
How are you feeling about top 4? And the other thing that Leo mentioned about Hugo Lloris, what a great,
that's 4 signings.
Really, really great. Really great news. I mean, he's gone from strength to strength. Really, in the last 6 months, unbelievable what he's shown us. Really, you can't take me seriously now, can you? Unbelievable. I think that's a really important signing. Romero back, I think that's really great. I sort of err on the side of Richard, I'm afraid. I think if we can get 5th, that will be progress. I mean, 4th at a push, who knows? But I think it's strength in depth, really. It's strength in depth now. And don't forget, we've just offloaded so many players. What was it, 7 you said at the beginning of the show? Yeah. So, unbelievable.
Well, it's actually 6. We're still waiting on the confirmation of Dele Alli.
Okay. I mean, it's way past my bedtime. So, but I think 5th would be progress if we dare to dream 4th, and then dream
it, brother.
It could be a soap opera,
Dream it. Dream it. We need all Spurs fans to dream it, put it in their mind, and give that extra energy to let Spurs deliver 4th for us. We need that positivity.
And we haven't got no European football. We've only got the league and FA Cup. So we can use our first team. We can utilize our first team.
Yes. We got Conte as well. You won't keep forgetting that.
Conte.
By the way, Chris, my manager's on the phone. He says, "Are we getting overtime for this?" Are we on?
We're waiting on the Dele Alli news.
Apparently, we're on time and a half after half 11. So
listen, why don't you just say he signed? He's asked you just say he has.
Oh, yeah, he signed.
Yeah.
Well done. Nice one, Jim. Nice one.
Well, Darren Hart, let's come to you on this point on screen here. Any concern among the panel that Spurs have become attractive to toppish players just to come and collect a paycheck while sat on the bench? Because you would think, really, I know a couple of the guys said about Matt Doherty. When you think about players like Joe Rodon, you know, they're playing more for their country than they are actually for their club at the moment.
I'm going to answer that question and the one that we've all had to answer very quickly for you. I'm not worried about that because we have a side in our league called Newcastle, and that's going to be their job. So we don't have to worry about that. Players are not going to want to come to Spurs just to get a paycheck and sit on the bench. We're not going to be attracting those kind of players because we've got a manager that ain't going to have that and a structure with Paratici that won't allow that to happen. That's why the Deadwood was kicked out the way it was kicked out. Now, in terms of top four, I'm going top four. I have to go with that. Reason why I have to go with that is because we have the Conte, we have an 11 that is strong. Also, the teams that are competing for top four around us have the same issues that we're talking about. If they get injured, they've got problems. They don't really know their best teams right now. Their form is up and down as we are. So it's there to be grabbed. So I'm going to will it to happen rather than accept fifth. I'm willing that fourth. So I'm going to go for fourth.
Yes, Darren. And let's all do voodoo so that they all get COVID.
Oh my God. But you know what, Hartman? You're
Delta
right.
variant as well. Not even the Omicron. You want Delta to come back.
But Harty, you're right. West Ham haven't done no business. Gooners have just lost Aubameyang. They've only got lack of goals up front. You know, Man United, they've let a lot of players go. There is an opportunity there, bruv. I'm with you.
Someone said we should get a Chris Cowlin tattoo. What's that about?
if we finish top four, if you're that confident of us,
that's me and you, bruv. That's me and you. If we get top four, then we get Chris. I ain't got no tattoos, so
I ain't got no tattoos.
Unless it's one of those that you can lick and then like
them
rub on your
transferable
arm.
ones, yeah.
Them ones there. I might get one of those.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. If we don't get top four, I'll get one of those like ink ones.
Yeah. The transferable. The henna. We'll get some henna.
Henna, yeah, we'll get henna. I'll get one on my left boob for you, Chris. Just here, just with the nipple, just where you like it. See you later. We'll talk.
That's what happens when you pass midnight. It changes.
Isn't it?
We're on a different type of show.
Well, 3 hours of absolute madness, 1,000 people still watching. Thank you so much to all 5 of you for joining me for this special show. I'm glad the transfer window is over. I put out 86 videos during January with the viewing figures of 1.2 million. So thank you so much to everybody who has watched during the month of January. Leo, tell everyone where they can find you on social media. And thanks so much for being a part of tonight's show.
Oh, mate, thank you, Chris, so much, man. Today for some reason, it always feels like a New Year's Eve and New Year's, doesn't it? It feels like that for me. But I really appreciate you having me on the show. I had such a great time with everyone. Richard, Darren, Ricky, Chris. I've had a great time, man. Thank you guys for having me. Just hit me up on my Instagram if you want to chat shit. It's all good. If you want to give me abuse because I said Levy in and Enoch in, I'll be abused that way. I don't mind, because at the end of the day, without them, we wouldn't have who we have now in Conte, Paratici, and all these lots. So I would give him a little bit of props. I know Darren don't want to give it to you yet, but okay, I won't say it. But I know deep down he is happy secretly. But yeah, thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. And let's get those likes up, people. Let's get the subscription up.
No licks, it's all likes, right? Not Love Island now, kid.
Rich, all I can say is thank you and sorry.
Mate, it's all right. Now, I always enjoy this chat. It's always great content, great banter. It's great to be with like-minded people sometimes. Yeah, no, like next 5 weeks, you'll be able to find out if I get caught by the hunted, obviously on Channel 4.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, no, it's a good laugh, and me and you and Thomas have a good crack with it as well. So it's all rock and roll, and I'm obviously on Marathon Champ Twitter, and then just like Leo and the rest of the guys say, we're all on Instagram. So yeah, follow us all, and then be good to catch up again on the next show and have some more banter. Yeah,
Richard, can I ask you? So, Richard, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go on,
Chris, I'm talking. I'm talking, Chris. Behave. Richard, can I ask you a question? You know when you do the show, right?
Yeah.
Where is the camera guy? Because I'm thinking, how are you running with, like, who's filming it? Is the camera guy with you all the time?
Yeah. What you mean now? I'm not running now.
No, I mean like when you're hiding.
There's a helicopter.
Yeah, because I was thinking, who's filming you?
Yeah, you have this. Yeah, so yeah, you have a
Isn't
guy.
it bait? Like a big guy with a camera, everyone can see you, right?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, it's all staged, man. But obviously, nobody from the Hunted are listening or watching at the moment. They're not cool enough to be Spurs fans, so they're not watching.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris. Now you can go. Your turn, Chris.
I was going to say on a serious note, tell us about your foundation.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, I started my foundation last year in lockdown, and it's to support people that have disabilities, young people that are excluded from society, and we use the power of sport to engage them, and whether that's that have got disabilities or other minority groups, we find that there's a lot of people that are disengaged from society that are from the LGBTQ plus community, BME community, and also the disability community. So through the power of sport, we do a lot of work. So yeah, the Whitehead Foundation, check it out on Google. Just got some events this year. So it'd be great to have as many of you involved as possible. And just reiterate, Chris, that I'm obviously pleased to be a part of the show, and it's always a good crack. And being a Spurs fan's tough, but it's lessened with obviously these 3-hour chats.
Thanks, Rich. Thanks very much.
Cheers,
and Ricky Norwood, is there a Princess Switch 4 out soon?
Well, not at the moment. Princess Switch 4 has not been greenlit as yet. I think Vanessa, after playing 3 characters, she wants a little bit of a break from Princess Switching. So we shall see, but you never know what happens in the future. And Rich, I hope that when you was hunted, bro, you wasn't wearing that hoodie, because forget the camera guys.
It's a bit big.
Channel 4 in London town will be able to be like, yeah, Rich he's over there. He's over there.
Purely bait.
Listen, Chris, always a pleasure, always an honor to be on. It's been fantastic to be on Deadline Day with you and all of the boys here tonight. It's been great banter, great insight, loads of positive energy, which I love. And, you know, these chats are like therapy for me and everybody else that are on it and listening. I know it. So, thank you very much. The video with yourself, Darren Hart, and Ramon Vega, bro. Oh my gosh, I was cracking up. So, and that was after the Chelsea game, which gave me a bit of therapy as well. So I couldn't watch it on the night, but the next day I watched it. Fantastic. So again, Chris, during this transfer window, thank you so much for all your hard work, bro. All your dedication.
Yes or no?
All your trials and tribulations to get all the journalists on and go through everything, ask all the questions that we want. He's gone. Look, he's had enough. He's going to bed. But yeah, like for everybody watching, if you like the stream, if you like what Chris does and all the work that he puts in, like Leo always says, a like and subscribe is all free and easy. So just make it happen. But again, a pleasure and an honor. I will hand over to Darren Altman, who can say his goodbyes while we're waiting for Chris to put his charger in. Go for it, Dar.
I mean, I first started doing impressions, guys. I mean, it's been a journey. It's wonderful. It's always. I don't know why he asked me, but it's been great. And Darren Altman on Twitter, Darren _Altman on Instagram. I do lots of impressions. I put out a video on Boris, I put out a video on Twitter, on TikTok 2 weeks ago, and it's just hit 7 million views. It's ridiculous.
Wow,
One of these quick fire impressions. So I was I want to say that it's without a shame that you must come to one of my parties, business meetings, and have some wine and cheese and with positivity, guys. Come on, you Spurs. Yes. If you do that, then hey, big boy, young man, fucking come on, you fucking Spurs. Yes. Hey, look at me, young man. Fuck off. So do all that. Anyway.
Dal, listen. A couple of days ago, Boris Johnson was trending, right? I've gone into my Twitter and he's done the rubbing of the hair, right? The thing that you've got him down to a T. And for 2 seconds, Dal, for 2 seconds, I thought it was you. I thought you was trending, and then I had to look, and it was actually Boris Johnson doing the. So big up yourself, bro.
Thank you very much. Oh, I'll tell you what. Just before I go, quickly, I don't do this often, but I'll do this for you guys. Hold on one sec. Hold on.
Go on.
Oh.
Hold on.
Oh,
mate, you get a rich chocolate, John, and then a crack and a crunch of that base. Oh, mate, that was heaven. Oh, John, I could dive into that, mate.
Love it.
That's right. Welcome to Mark the Week. That's right. So we do all that.
I love it. I love your what's his chef guy?
Yeah, Greg Wallace.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay.
There you go. Anyway, it's been fun. Chris says this has been a big disappointment. He didn't really want to be here. So
could you never told him Dele's side?
He's gone. Exactly. He's probably gone to find Dele. He's got to do a job. He's pointing at you, Darren.
Hartman, your time, brother. Where can they find you? Sign off. Say what you got to say, my friend.
Deals. All right, guys. Well, you can see my tag is there, Original Heartman, over all social medias. In a show right now down at the Fortune Theatre. I'm doing a show over the holidays for all your little ones. So if you want to bring the little one down or just bring someone else's little one, it's called Jungle Rumble. So I'm in that over the half term. And I'm out here. I'm just trying to connect, keep it moving, and loving our almighty Spurs. It's always a pleasure being on there with you guys, talking football, banter, and having some good fun. So catch me soon, then. Catch you soon.
What do we do?